Gotcha. Beautiful, man. Give me the bone. Holy fuck, I almost got both my circles. My full circle done. Fuck just hit me. My words, Calvin. Done something. Oh, indeed. That might be the most retarded nades I've ever done. I'm not even joking. I don't think I've ever done it quite that badly. Don't know. Why am I playing so risky? Oh my, the strafing is a disadvantage. So she got it to strafe. The velocity I got from bouncing off that zombie was not good. No, that was no bueno. 100% no bueno. Why the fuck did that even happen? Yeah. Soon. I'm gonna play super aggressively. 13, I'm gonna switch. And aggressively seems pretty consistent in the early rounds. Eventually outspawn. Outspawn? What the fuck am I talking about? Outnade the spawns. Oh god. RNG. Oh, good RNG. That was a 50-50. That jump out animation there. I don't know why the Hordes is so biased on this. Around this room especially. Our bed, sorry. They love spreading more so. I wonder if that's a BO1 thing or just a poor pathing thing. Three drops? What the fuck? In the 40s, please. I'm around 10 or 11. Oh, that's disgusting. Um, Wish the Cavell was on this map instead of this bullshit on 14. I want a real fucking gun. I want some real steel under my shoulder. It's a fucking plastic bullshit. Actually, it's wood in this game, to be fair. Yeah, dude. Don't hit me. What? 'Cause I said so. Rob used the Car 90 arcade in the M14. Shit. Most people actually like the M14. Instruments, it's there. Yeah, that's so damn. They just got the insta earlier. Bomb earlier. I'm playing slow as fuck, despite of getting really good lethal. Slow in the first one. I've been getting way more consistent games. Which is nice. Oh my. Yeah, Nathan has actually definitely been killing me. What the fuck? I never even realized that until now. To the full extent of how much I was overnating. Yeah, I knew it. What? How did I just get brain aids? I actually have no idea how I died. I must have just lost consciousness for a second there. I actually have no idea how I died. Oh my lord. I was so attentive to that other zombie. Probably just fucked up my timings. Peaceful. Excellent. What the fuck? It's not even in the room. What this? Peaceful. come on. And I didn't even need to do that too. I wanted to just get the whole horde and boards. I'm greedy as fuck. I knew that was a risk. It's so satisfying getting the whole horde and boards. This aim needs to be studied. Horrible. Am I gonna die to them? Come on. Hate taking a hit by the Gats.
From the Black Rider.
Fuck. It's been so long since I streamed. I think Nightbot's left. I'd have to re-add Nightbot. Oh, today in a row. So fucked. Konnichiwa, one. Michikai, BC, Shitai. Yeah, we'll do that.
Wait, what'd you say? It keeps fucking disconnecting my headphones.
I said Michikai, VC, Shitai.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know how long I'll be on for, so I said Meiji Fair.
Right, yeah. By the way, streaming TG, so just for caution.
Oh, really?
It was so
What's your
funny
PB so
because
far? You beat it yet?
I got to 28, but I've been trying to get a 21 flawless instead. Sort of been the goal. So I've not been buying QR until round 21. Or 20 actually.
Alright.
And I had back when I played a year and a half ago, I had so many flawless 20s. And I've gotten so many flawless 20s, I just never had a flawless 21. I don't know why. Oh, I actually had so many 23s before I beat my PB, but yeah, my PB's 28. I had played 5 rounds flawless in the 20s. It was the craziest thing ever. I skipped 27 because I had a 26 PB. I had 2 26s. I got 20. Yeah, I was just PBing almost. I was getting a 23 every day, but I was buying QR earlier, so it looks like I'm playing shitter just statistically, but I'm not. Just because I'm not buying QR.
What were you gonna say a minute ago? Before I brought up the game. You said it was funny something.
What did you say?
You said it like it was funny and then
oh, it was funny because I told EXE I was streaming and then he forgot I was streaming and he was saying, and he was wondering, he thought when I was reading chat I was talking to him.
You serious?
An idiot, yeah.
That's what happened when I was talking to your chat. He was like, "Are you talking to me?" Like he was like confused, and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And then the second he found out it was me, dude, he was just not having it. Like, yeah.
I'm playing so consistently, I'm basically getting a 15 every restart.
Nice.
I can't flip it into anything. It's so unfortunate. I'm just nading myself. Oh, in the 28 game, I'm just nading myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the thing about first streams is like, there's like no restarts, it's like complete skill to get that game going.
Oh yeah, 100% is complete skill. That's why I really like playing it, and it's shorter too. So.
Yeah.
I wonder what the other maps feel like, because this map is really good.
I think Verect would be cool.
Yeah, Verect is the best one. That's what Mirage said.
I don't think I would.
Jug said.
Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in any other map besides Verect first stream.
This is where EXE would get really offended. Oh, Stepo!
Nah, hey, dude.
I couldn't care about
Even Galactic agrees that shit's trash now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what happened with the records are like way too high now, so it's literally... It's really boring past 40, apparently.
Okay.
And record's like 60 or something, I don't remember exactly what, but yeah, it's... Yeah, iTech got like 60 like a year ago or something.
What?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's too much.
Yeah, it gets like really easy past 40 is what like Galactic was telling me.
I'm not surprised.
But
So
I don't know.
shit.
Maybe Mob would be cool or like Shadows, but I just don't like BO2, 3 like gameplay as much.
Yeah. I mean, BO3 is quite different. It's actually funny because BO3 brought back a BO1 mechanic, which is the stun. You can shoot the stun, and because you have a fast enough fire rates weapon with the RK5, you can actually use it to great success.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, but the hits
Sure,
are
they
really
took that out in
different.
BO2. What the fuck?
Yeah, they did, I'm fairly sure. BO2 mechanically is just inferior. Them fucking up the jump height was such a shit nerf to movement. I really don't like that. It's so much harder to change strafes on BO2 because of the jump height decrease. It actually makes stamina feel good in that game. It makes it feel like BO1. You need a perk to make the game feel, you know, kind of like BO1. Oh, and the triggers are so bad. The wall triggers, the door triggers are so bad. I remember I was just standing next to a claymore and I'm thinking, why can't I buy it? I'm trying to, but you know, open the power on buried or turn on the power. Just wouldn't let me do anything. I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to buy a claymore. That's it. Not that complicated. Oh my god, this is really bad.
Oh, dude, I gotta tell you about this. So I don't know if you know, but Dank joined back the server, the Z server, recently,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, what's happened with that?
and it was actually pretty. Like he apologized like straight up to me, which like I kind of appreciated.
Mhm.
I didn't really expect him to do that, but he's just like, yeah, I was like kind of being an asshole in here. And he was like mostly apologizing to Galactic, but he was there, so he's just telling me. And then, um, but like he's been back for like a week or something, and now he's already causing like drama. Is like kind of is like pretty funny to be honest.
Well,
Not
what's
like
it about
with.
this time?
So you remember whenever we were watching the stream and like you heard like the girl talking
Yeah,
about like GeoGuessr and stuff.
yeah,
She was in the call last night. We were watching anime with
yeah.
Yezi and
Mm-hmm.
her, and they were both like enjoying it a lot. And but Deng joined the call.
Oh god. Woman and dank?
And
Okay, that's gonna be very interesting.
yeah, yeah. So Deng joined the call. I think Wonder was there too, but Yezi paused to like talk about his life situation, and he
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
talking about why he lost his job. And then Yezi brought up the fact that I don't know if he told you about his situation, but like
Yes.
basically his coworker woman was the reason he lost his job.
Yeah, he told me about all this.
Yeah, so the second he started bringing her up, I'm like, oh, this is not about to go well.
God.
And then I tried to like stop the conversation, but I didn't want to be an asshole and stop like Izzy
Yeah.
from like talking about it. But like that was like, oh, dude, women. Dude, he just started going off about women, and then he like
That's
put
out.
in the chat like, I'm not talking to an. Oh shit! Wait.
Just for a second, you said somebody put in chat something after we brought that up.
Yeah,
Who did?
yeah. She left the call.
Yeah, yeah.
That's who. She left the call whenever he was talking about women, and she put in the chat. She's like, I'm not talking to an asshole. And then like just
Mm-hmm.
that was like pretty fun.
That's fucked. Nah, I completely understand. I remember when you
Me-
left. When
I kind of felt bad though, but
no, 100%. It's just one of those things when you're.
oh yeah.
When
He was talking
somebody's.
to EXE?
Huh? EXE?
Oh,
or
nothing.
what?
I think it lagged.
Oh, okay.
I was saying whenever we were talking to EXE and he was like telling him advice about like giving him life advice, and he like brought up woman or whatever. Is that what you're referencing?
I remember what you're talking about. No, it was just when we were on the call. And he brought up something about women and leadership, and you just left the
Wait,
call.
no, I
You said,
remember
"I'm not
now.
listening to
Yeah, I
this."
remember now.
I remember watching somebody at like type 100 on Doris, or that were going there. I don't know why. Maybe something got teleported.
I think you were watching me. I think you were watching me.
Oh, okay.
I think you were. Because I remember I was playing Doris and I just paused and fucking left the call because I'm like, dude, there's no way he's saying this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something yeah, as a self owner, you probably need to keep that in check. Dank cannot be. It's just one of those things when you belong to a category, and then somebody makes comments about, because it includes you when people talk, oh, you know, women and shit. So, well, that has nothing to do with me. So, you know, I can understand being in part of a category. It's the same thing when Yezi went around and he had his, you know, gang of hooligans, and he was saying, you know, watermelon and, you know, N-words all day long. It's just on that level where, you know, if you belong in that category, would you want to be in the zombies community? When it's just constantly being shouted on, it's like, well, this has nothing to do with me. Well, maybe it does, and it's just like, why is why is it on the level that you just have to shit on me for the most basic things? It was the most toxic thing ever. So, yeah, you definitely need to keep that in check. It is disgusting. I feel vile when I listen to it, and I'm not even a woman.
Yeah.
Is Yezi a woman hater? No, this is dank. This is just all. This is classic.
Yezi was like saying the opposite. He's like, I don't really agree with dank, but but it was like too late.
What foods does Yezi not like? Chicken and watermelon, apparently.
And then there was another thing that like kind of I don't know. I never really get pissed off about like religious topics, I guess. I mean, I like do to some extent. Like we've talked about this a lot, but like I don't know why. They were Ender joined the call last night, and Dank was still there. This is like after everything that happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They were talking about like religion because they're both like Christians, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking about it, and Ender's like starting this like relationship right now with someone that he met recently. He's like seems like a really cool person. Yeah. And then he's talking about he's like worried because the woman is like the one like basically like controlling everything that's going on right now. Like she's like pretty much doing everything in terms of like progressing the relationship. And he was talking about that, and Dank was like, yeah, that's no good, like you can't let that happen. And I'm like, what? And
yes, because
they were basically
no, okay.
I'm just like, why does that matter? And then they started bringing up like the religion stuff. I'm like, are you serious? Like that's why? I don't know. I just think religion's like so stupid.
Oh yeah,
but
like yeah, it's the man, I fucking hate using these feminist terms, but what religion is like the enforcer of, you know, like patriarchal fuck, I feel so sorry you saying that, but I mean, yeah, it is kind of true in terms of religion reinforcing, you know, it is very convenient that, you know, you like religion and you want that to dictate your relationship when you get to be the sort of alpha or omega in that relationship in terms of the things that you are allowed to do. I think it's very curious.
Yeah, you're just letting something like so old dictate like your morals.
Exactly.
And the way you go about your life. So it's like you don't even know anything about like who wrote this or anything. Like this would just be complete nonsense. I don't know.
I'm sure Dank would know, because I'm pretty sure we do know that who wrote the Bible, and I know he was looking into.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Bible
but like
extensively. This one.
I'm just talking more general, I guess. Not even, but I guess yeah. Don't really know much about it, so. But either way, it's like you don't really know much about it. I feel like either way, it's so old, and
yeah.
I mean, it just sounds
I
so
agree,
nonsensical. Like all the stories and stuff. It's just like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just. I feel like I get progressively more like pissed off about like just the concept of religion like every year, like as I get older. I don't know.
I've definitely got more pissed off recently, especially when I see when people use it as a method of control.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's your own life, that's real good. That's real swell. But once you start using that as a justification, I think the justification, quite frankly, is flimsy. But the veracity of the Bible is so up for dispute, and also it has so many different schools of thought, permutations. But Dan couldn't debate you because you're a troll. Yeah, so. But I put Kappa. That's full on. That's a full on fact. So what the fuck? Yeah, that's no cap. Pun intended. There's no cap. Final nade throws. What the fuck out my window? Oh, fucking moonwalker. Every time I VC playing this game, for some reason I play better than worse. 118.
Really?
Yeah. When I was playing with Narag, I was playing like crazy, just for on conversating with him.
I'm the same way, depending on who I talk to. I don't know why. When I talk to Ender, like, I actually can't do it. Like, I actually just have to pause. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. But, like, I was talking to Wonder in a firm, like, a month ago. And we were having, like, the most interesting discussion. I don't even remember what it was about. It was about, like, I don't even remember what it was about. But it was, like, so interesting.
Wonder is quite interesting, so that makes sense.
Like, the history of zombies and stuff, and, like, yeah, and he was talking about this game, Time Splitters 2, which was like the influence for zombies, and like I just didn't know about like any of it.
It's
really
the actual game mode, not the communal.
And I was like playing like so well. Yeah. Like the actual. There's this game called Time Splitters 2, and I think that's like pretty unknown. So they got like the concept for it off this game, and then. It's kind of funny how nowadays, like, there's a lock.
I don't even know if that was out back then, but yeah.
I don't think so. It was like 2008, maybe. I like that game a lot. That's
big parts.
It's like one of the best Flash games ever. Probably the best.
Nah, Epic Battle Fantasy 3 specifically.
But yeah. Big Battle Fantasy. Oh, I remember you talking about that game actually.
Epic Battle Fantasy.
Is that the one you played at school?
Yeah, we played it at school.
Yeah.
Recently, within the past half decade, I've completed it on Steam on the Epic difficulty.
It's funny seeing like all the Flash games that people liked, because I was talking to Stour about Flash games like a year ago, and his favorite was this game called Commando. It's like there's just so many fucking Flash games.
Okay, round 19. The only time I've ever liked religion recently is Johnny Cash singing about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. What makes you like it whenever he's talking about it?
It's big. That's a very good question. I like when you ask good questions. It's when so I've not listened to his stuff that's like popular. I'm listening to the stuff where he was about to die. I don't know. I just really like the vibes. And he's singing about about friends that he's lost, weeping about the friends he's lost, and also sort of heaven in terms of he was talking about kind of the I think the people that he would meet in heaven in terms of hold on, let me concentrate on the sword first, and then I'll talk about the I can't recall. Well, okay, beautiful board, all in boards, in wood. Okay, so yeah, he's singing at the end of his life, and I think this one album was a released after his death. I was going to use the actual fucking word, but I don't know how to say post-humptuous. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But he's singing about the the people that he would meet, but also the people that he weeps for that that have gone. And it has very religious undertones. And honestly, very much enjoyed it. I like somebody contemplating their death. I really like melancholic stuff like that, so I very much enjoyed that. And he's a man of faith, and so that's his relationship with death, and I like the experience. I know, for me, it's all bullshit in terms of the veracity of heaven, but it's his relationship with heaven and how he thinks he's gonna die. Also, is this the end of the round? Beautiful. Hey, it's the moment of truth. Round 20.
Yeah, you gotta get past it finally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I'm on the round that I need to beat.
Right.
Big scary. I need to make perfectly here. Okay, lost that.
I like, I was thinking about like ways I like religion used, and Fear and Hunger is like a really good one, just because of how it makes the game's atmosphere like 10 times more like horrifying. At least where I don't really understand it fully yet, but just so far in terms of like a horror atmosphere.
I just
like,
got one hit
really...
down! Oh my god!
What the fuck?
I just got one hit down! Oh, that's so... I had the hood and everything.
Wait, let me see this. No fucking way. You're cursed on this round.
Drink.
Alright. Oh my god, I got fucking ads.
I'm back.
Oh, I just saw Stealth is in your chat. That's funny because Stealth is actually there, like right before the chaos ensued. Because he was talking to Aster. Because they live in like very close to each other, like literally an hour away.
Yeah.
And they were talking. He left like a little bit before Dank joined, and before the fucking chaos ensued. This time.
Yeah, somebody clip it if you can.
Yeah, I couldn't see the down because I got fucking ads.
Oh yeah, that's really unfortunate.
On my mobile.
Also, I fucked up round 20 because I didn't do my boards properly for some reason. They just spawn way faster on 20, and it's very noticeable. I think that's why I'm downing every single time I'm on 20. The hold up is just so different on 20 in comparison, and I keep 6 boarding. I'm at the 6 board. I 6 board all the way to 20. That's a really unfortunate down. I didn't even think I would have been hit there. I was definitely slowing them down quite a bit, but damn. I wonder what you think of this band, Kuya, that I found.
Kuya?
Recommended to me, yeah. Japanese band. I'll send you one of their songs. I'll put it in my playlist.
Yeah, sure.
Boom.
It'd be easy if you shared screens on it, if that's possible.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
when I was
I'll
in
do that.
music, when I'm in a Discord call on mobile, it sounds like fucking ass. So I don't know why. I'm gonna try to see this down real quick.
Okay. Ooh, TSE doesn't like. It's that chicken and watermelon, I told you this.
Yeah, well.
And he likes apple pies. That's the only thing I like from McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in maybe... Actually, it might just be half a decade. Maybe 2021 was the last time I've been to McDonald's.
I think you're about it down where I'm at right now. I went back in the VOD.
Right. Just as he like Burger King? I don't know. I have no idea what he likes, so you can go and ask him. I hate their apple pies. I like them. Might be different in the UK, but I really like it's very crispy in comparison to the apple pies I have, which are really crumbly, and I really like. I just didn't think crispy apple pies would be so good. That's the first time I liked apple pies. I think it's the crispiness that made it really nice. It's crispy, but it has this sort of I don't even know how to describe it. I'd have to think of another food that has a similar texture. Just bad and AIDS pussy. The last time I ate at Burger King was appendicitis. Was when I had appendicitis. It was the last thing I ate before I had it. What would you say?
I just watched back through the down and I realized it was a different fucking VOD. I'm like, that was not a one-hit down, what the fuck? And you had a totally different reaction, and I'm like, why am I muted on the stream? I was like so confused. I was like, oh, this is fucking yesterday. I can't even see the VOD from today. But I'm ready to hear the music though. I like this song.
Oh, the reason why I said that Burger King thing is because you said when you take a flight, it was at an airport in Spain, and I ate Burger King, and then after I felt something weird about my stomach in the plane, and then I had the worst pain I've ever had. Appendicitis was fucked. When I broke my arm, the lady said, "Oh, I didn't even know anything was wrong because it kind of felt like a period," and I'm thinking, you either just got really lucky or your periods are brutal. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me put the other one on. This one, End of Silence, is nice. Yeah, this band was making this music in, I think, maybe early noughties, 2002 or something. And they recently blow up by the YouTube algorithm, so they've been saying, "Oh shit." A lot of old
That's
music
how it
has,
goes.
apparently.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely making music from the wrong era, because this sounds very good to my end. It sounds very contemporary too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this song a lot. I'm gonna have to save this artist.
Is the UK celebrating Pride Month? My county council removed pride flags from the libraries.
You serious?
Yeah. They also said "fuck you" to solar panels. I'm just thinking, what the fuck did solar panels do? What the fuck? Solar panels have become so cheap in terms of, well, solar powered energy has become so cheap. What the fuck are you doing? I want that cheap shit. So at least Essex is not, apparently does not fuck with private. A lot of reform guys won. I don't know if you know what that party is, but it's basically a bunch of cunts. Just to put it, you know, real quick. Really stupid people.
Tito type people.
Would you say?
Tito Ortiz type people.
Oh, well, unironically, they're just very, very. So we don't really have like an anti-climate party over here. Even the Tories just understood, which was our sort of main rightward party. They understood that climate change was obviously real. So having an actual party that could win power, that just does not believe in basic facts about where the climate is going is, yeah, that's you know, I'm not. That's probably, if I was gonna vote on a single issue, it would probably be that. Oh my god, I couldn't fit through that gap. Come on now. Take a pride flag, cape to the library, and a vlog stick. Fight the good fight. You know what? Doesn't sound like a bad idea. I might go to the library. I like libraries too. I might donate the books I don't read anymore. I don't care to read. I do enjoy libraries. I don't like this. I don't like people building up their own bookshelves. If you don't write in books, so why the fuck are you buying books? Or constantly going back to the book. Give that to a friend or something. I think we should be doing that more too. I think we should be sharing stuff with friends. With friends, sorry. Yeah, there was this community in Japan that I was looking at, and they did a lot of sharing in terms of, oh, old bike I don't need. How the fuck did I lag? That was definitely a lag back. What the fuck was that? No, yeah, they just shared a bunch of stuff. I was gonna say shored a bunch of stuff, just conjugated it wrong. It actually is a very Kansai conjugation in terms of like, you know, kao to buy, but it's kota instead of kata in standard Japanese. They change a to o in past form and theft form, and also they don't like.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they don't like. So let's say let's think takai. They say takanai instead of takakunai for negative.
Huh. Oh, actually, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that one, actually.
You did or you didn't?
I did. I think I've heard about that one.
So Ohio is just Ohayaku. It just means early. That's why it's good morning. It's like, oh, early. So, but because obviously the capital went to the 1600s, the Edo shogunate was based in Kansai. This is why this is fossilized with I guess like Western Japanese conjugation hayo instead of hayaku, hayo. That's what they do. They obviously the a turns into an o and the ku disappears. I mean the ku disappears all the time, but specifically for a sounds, it just completely turns into an O sound. What? I just bounced off the bird. Fuck. So also Keigo, so Masu Desu, that's also from Kansai. That's why Masen is Masen, because instead of Shinai, in Kansai they have Sen or Sehen as their negative Shinai. And so they obviously why is it not Mashinai? Because obviously it's a su verb. Why is it not Mashinai? Well, it's because their suru is sen negative, so it's actually regular. It's just big because it was copied over from Kansai, Kansai Ben. That's why it's Masen, as far as I know. That's why it's like that.
Interesting. I was gonna say this earlier when you were talking about like the library. I would like to actually use the library where I live, but the nearest one is like 40 minutes away, probably, and we're in Little Rock. It's just full of homeless people, like in the library, just like being like super loud and stuff.
Oh, really? That's really
When I was, yeah, yeah. When I was in Japan though,
Mm,
you were talking about like people sharing stuff.
yeah.
You would go into like a bookstore or something, and like there'd just be people just sitting there reading for like hours, just like the fucking books that they you can just go in and read them instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
buying them. That's what so many people were doing.
Yeah, that's
And
sick.
I went to this really cool um, is the manga Hall of Fame in
Hmm.
Kyoto,
Yeah.
and you could just go in and like pick somewhere to lay down and read. They had like so many different rooms, and they had like this huge fucking area with like all the manga that are in the Hall of Fame. IG was there. That's like the big one I
Oh,
remember.
really? That's sick. Oh, did you go
Yeah.
to there's for Akagi's death, they have a there's a gravestone in a ramen shop, and every year Fukumoto meets with the with fans in the ramen shop or whatever. And I don't know.
Are you
exactly
serious?
what it is. Yeah, no, this is real.
What? Wait, when does that happen? I need to look this up.
Might be in October or sometime, I think. I
I didn't
don't
know that.
remember.
I could have actually done that if it was in October. What the fuck? I could have actually done that. I could have also, for the Steel Ball Run anime, they had like a release trailer live in Tokyo,
Oh yeah.
and it was in October, and I could have done that too. But honestly, I was like too scared to take the Shinkansen at that
Oh,
time
really?
because like I still just like it was like very early October. I'd only been there like a few weeks,
Mhm.
and I was like too scared to try to navigate like all the way out there myself because it's like 2.5 hours out by the Shinkansen. So
Mhm.
yeah,
It's so
I
sick
was
they have a
definitely too scared to do that.
Shinkansen. Wish we had something like that in the UK.
I know. No, it's so cool. You can literally go anywhere on it. It's like awesome. Once I figured out the Shinkansen, like bro, I felt like I was on top of the world. I could do like anything I wanted.
How often did you travel to Tokyo?
I only went once. I wanted to go. I wanted to go on New Year's actually, but I ended up just spending time in Osaka instead, which I really like Osaka. So
Yeah, I like Osaka too. I prefer Chichai, fuck the Chisai.
yeah, Osaka's pretty cool.
Yeah. What you like about it?
I like how random it is. Like I would just be walking around, and there would just be some random shit happening on the street. Like I don't even know how to like. Remember this one time they had these weird like art. Like I don't. They were like some kind of like traditional. Probably have a picture of it. I can't even be able to describe this. But there's just it just feels like so random. But like it's just because I don't understand the culture, so I was always like amazed at everything I saw.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of like cool stuff in Osaka too. Everybody knows like Osaka Castle and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I found this place called Shinsekai Osaka, or what is it called? Shinsekai Osaka. I think it was just called Shinsekai Osaka. There's this like big tower. It's like a really cool area. I went there on New Year's, and there's this place right next to it called Den Town, which is like Akihabara, the equivalent of that in Osaka.
Uh-huh.
And that place was like fucking. They had like so many shops of like anything you could think of, like just random shit, like a lot of like anime stuff, but a lot of like there's like a military theme bar there, like just a bunch of random stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like all types of like hobby shops. There's like a wrestling one. Really cool.
That's funny because actually I guess it is just I mean it's one of the it's a really big city, so of course you'll be able to find stuff, but I actually do like that about Japan is that it's a super hobbyist culture in terms of there's a lot of
Yes.
stuff to do with hobbies in comparison to at least where I live, which I couldn't give a fuck about doing anything in town unless it's one of the stores
Yeah,
that
no,
come
for
by
sure. Yeah.
and they have the nicest almond croissants. Apart from that, fuck no.
It's one of my favorite things about Japan too, is like the hobbyist culture. And you can like I feel like you can be like way more open about your hobbies in Japan and people just are like fascinated by it. But in like anywhere else it's like people just don't give a fuck or like they'll make fun of you for it. Like you know, like people make fun of like anime fans and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
But I think
you
that's
have
like
to
really
watch.
cool.
You have to watch anime in Japan. Sorry, that's just the main form.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm gonna make fun of you for watching Hollywood instead. Breaking Bad fan? What the? Stinky cheese. I just remember just Frenzy would randomly just do a Yezi impression. He would go, "Oh my god!" He would say something that Yezi would say in that voice, and then he'd go, "Stinky cheese." I hate chicken and watermelon. Stinky cheese. Watermelon. I have to say watermelon. Stinky cheese.
Because his other emote is the lying face. I forgot that one existed. He used it the other day.
Yeah, I haven't seen him use it in so long. If it feels as though a different Yezi is taking over his body, I want that. I at least want the emote usage back. He used to use the craziest emoji technology, the point right door, bed. Wow, what happened to that?
Yeah.
I want that Yezi.
Yeah, he used it the other day, and I'm like, I was getting like flashbacks.
No, he used to have his own custom ones too. Because of Nitro. Used to have the Clown Liar one. Jumpy loved the Clown Liar one. That's back when they were bum buddies.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they were bum buddies because Jumpy couldn't be more different from Yezi. I feel... Actually, no, there is a side to Jumpy that is kind of like Yezi in terms of just saying the most random nonsense. And then liking really weird anime stuff that I'm thinking, whoa, you need to be on the list. You definitely need to be on the list. But then, aside from that, nah, Jumpy different. Oh my word, it's Ice Lagsy. And he's using the old emotes too, that's the thing. It's like nothing changed.
There's a lot of emotes that I hate that people would use, like the frog ones.
Oh man.
Like, I think it's called.
Oh, S Frog?
Maybe. I think I don't know. But the ones that like Dank were using, basically all the fucking Dank emotes. I hate Dank emotes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Fuck those emotes. I never liked the frog. It's always so weird. Legendary member in the building. Yeah, man, it's been kind of interesting. But just seeing your name, to me, that's a highlight of the day. Seeing your name in chat, especially because it's purple and you're just using the old emotes too, as if, man, it's just like if it was 2020 again. You just be putting the same shit in the chat. To me, that's a highlight. I like that, yeah. And you say that in a perfect moment too. That honestly, I only started streaming the past 3 days. So not really. So you happen to come into my chat when I start streaming. So for all I know, you know all the interesting things. I was lurking for a minute with Summer. Oh please, are you fucking serious? A zombie comes around the corner. I've been lurking for a minute. Oh, that's why you put the corgi up. I thought that was just a surreptitious coincidence. You put them corgi up in chat. I just came on live because I was playing against a streamer on Halo 2. Nah, have you been talking to No Reflections? I know he's a Halo guy.
Forgot about that guy.
Yeah, nah, it was in my chat the other day too. The thing is, the weirdest thing about No Reflections is that we kind of have really similar interests in terms of he's a big Souls guy, I am too. And he does level 1 runs, he does no upgrade. Yeah, he's definitely better than me, he doesn't no upgrade runs. But we met in a YouTube comment section exposing Syndicate back in maybe 2017. We were saying, oh, Syndicate's definitely cheating. You know, I showed you this. It was when he had, he was like round 50 update, and he had 5 million points on round 50. So what the fuck? Yeah, you definitely don't have 5 million points on round 50. What the fuck are you talking about? That's definitely fake. I know those guys that Thompson on Narc on Toten, they just have, you know, they don't have 5 million points on 50. What the fuck is that? And they're just Thompsoning, because that's the strat. He's a campaign guy, 1v1 on lockout, who would get smoked. It's a campaign. Was he like a speedrunner or something, or challenge runs? I don't know anything about Halo. I never played it as a kid. Apart from CE, I remember CE, we would just put it on memory sticks and play at school. Is that what it's called? The first Halo, Combat Evolved? I think it's called Combat Evolved. He plays with top players, best of... I'm playing like shit now. Best of luck to him. Modded me in his chat though? Oh, fuck. Let me check. Actually, I'm not checking that right now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. I do like CE though. When I'm playing at school. That's about it. So, only thing I give a fuck about CE. It is actually quite fun though. Wasn't it? Man, cause my memory, you're gonna have to jog my memory. Isn't it like old school mode from COD 4? Isn't that how CE works on multiplayer? Or at least one of the modes that is on Halo. I swear down, that's what one of the modes looks like. Better than Halo 3. So I'm guessing you think Halo 2 is the best by doing process of elimination. Yeah, okay. We got the tier list. I prefer Halo 5, sorry. I think Halo 5's the best. Fuck a Bungie. Halo 5 comp was good. Okay, I was trying to troll, because I know Halo fans don't like it. You actually say something positive about the game. A tier Halo for sure? Oh shit. Oh, that's completely wrong. For me, that was akin to me saying BO4 was good. I was like, okay. I'd just say BO4 is, you know, BO4 is good to a, you know, a BO1 player. Probably not gonna turn out well. And it's and then it turns out I'm talking to like Venoms or something, and he just says, oh yeah, you know, love the rocket launcher, I love how there's like 50 guns in the box. I'm thinking, you're not normal. Casuals hate it? Oh, is that why? Oh, okay.
That's crazy. It's like the opposite. Where like casuals love like the newer COD games.
Yeah. Casuals love BO3. I mean, it's not like I even really hate BO3. I just don't think it's BO1. That's my problem with it. It's not BO1. I mean, if BO1 was so good, why didn't they make it BO1 too? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
Oh wait, Bagsy, did you miss anything interesting? Trickies came into my chat and he was telling me the wildest thing about Tom Fantasy. Yeah. Oh my god, I told Niraj was pissed. He just left the call. When I told him that, he left the call. Oh my word. So, I haven't heard, now, mind you, I haven't heard about this Tom Fantasy guy in a very long time. Trickies comes into my chat and he's telling me about the box error. He's telling me that, so the box error happens because Moon is a thing. So hypothetically, if you played a shanged patch version of the game, you would not box error. Now,
well, I think you would, but it would just be significantly higher. Like,
okay, or it'd be significantly higher. So that's why BO2 doesn't have a box error, or it's significantly higher, blah blah blah, because it doesn't have Moon, because they never released that DLC. No. Oh, you spoke to him 18 months ago? Now, mind you, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. He's telling me a lot of stuff I did not know about the game. And BO3 also has Moon. So, okay. That means there is a box error on BO3 as well as BO1, because they both have Moon. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the hacker device. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Now, he tells me some crazy thing about Noct, right? Because Noct is a map you trade on, because no AATs, no pack-a-punch machine, so you're trading like crazy. And Tom Fantasy got a 255, but might have been just box erroring on, you know, the 230s, did you say? There's something around there.
219s, like, it just depends on like 219, 220-ish. Even earlier than 230s.
The Noct Whisperer. Now, people have been, you know, airing 30 rounds before Tom Fantasy's so-called record. Turns out, because of this box error thing. It was impossible for him to get 255 and he modded the game. He modded the game. Yeah, it was a friend part 2. He completely modded that game. Man, I was shocked. Dank sent me a DM. Hold on, he sent me a DM. Let me show you the tweet because he tweeted about it. Let me copy it too. Oh shit! Hold on, let me join my chat. Can I type now? Yeah, let me type in my fucking chat. Hold on, let me refresh my chat and I'll send it to you. Chat's being cons right now. Unrecognized. What, this school you're in? Oh, I'm in a call. Hold on. Actually, let me. I have you on Discord. Let me. I'll send you the screenshot. I'm in a private call right now. I'm doing a private call. Hideout. Yeah, you can add him, or I can add him. I don't know if you have.
Is it Bagsy?
Yeah, just Bagsy.
Let me see. Probably
different
not.
account on my phone. Oh shit, yeah. So just send me, your phone account. And yes, Bagsy comes in 2s. Why? Why's Bagsy coming in 2s? What's happening with that?
But yeah, Slayer box aired on his town game on like 100. It's just like, it was like 14,000 hits or something.
Yeah.
And he was like doing something with the EMPs that made it a little earlier. So it's like Chris Voltage didn't. He like apparently Chris Voltage was like really close to it in his game. People just didn't know.
That's crazy. That's sort of like the reset thing on BO1 where people thought the PC reset was significantly longer.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, turns out that people, if Pish didn't quit out of his 175, I think, on Ascension, would have known for sure, which is crazy because he quit out for that exact reason. Some zombies alone. Discord is installing 1 million updates. Oh, I hate phone Discord. But me, why do you need I mean, I guess security reasons, but why would you need updates on fucking Discord? It's an application to talk to people. Oh, on PC? Oh, okay. Oh, I hate it on phone. Regardless, I stand by my statement. No, send some music in the chat though, Bagsy, because I know you're into music. Let's see what songs you sent me. What songs you would send me. I don't know why, I'm full holding around 10. I got the sun in the background, alright. Open this up. $400 views, yeah, that's my tempo right now. It's true though, all the low view videos are the best. Low view music. I don't want to listen to whatever Sabrina Carpenter, blah blah blah.
That's like still the best YouTube change they made, or the past like half decade. Whenever they started recommending low view videos.
Let me let's put this down. Bagsy. Mic muted. Let me turn this down. This is way too loud. My philosophy. Fuck y'all. You have to play on your main. So what's crazy about the Tom situation is that me and you were both talking to him at the time, That's the crazy thing. How's that possible? How do I add? On PC? I don't know. I've got a theme on. So I actually don't know if it should be on the top right on the third column. It should say it should have a pin, a plus. Oh, you did. Bagsy, fucking Bagsy alt. The name too. Oh man, he's got some emoji technology in that name. Big ups to that name. Gonna go for a pistol now, join. Yeah, so me and Bagsy at the time were talking to him. At least that's what I remember. I remember talking to him at the time. We talked quite regularly to the point where, you know, I had some insights on more things than just, you know, who he was as a zombie player. So for him to do that, I'm actually very surprised. I'm wondering, did anyone know? Or did he just do it? Did he really just keep it under wraps that well?
I think he just really kept it under wraps. Nobody would have found out if
the thing is,
about the box error.
He is a very mechanically stupid player. Mechanically stupid, I'd say yes, he's mechanically stupid. He transcends stupidity when it comes to mechanics. I mean, this guy sucks. So I remember arguing with Shelby about, no, it can't be that hard, because I know Tom sucks mechanically at the video game. It can't be that hard. Quite frankly, it's impossible. And then I kind of had to, you know, admit, okay, maybe Tom's a better player than I give him credit for, but he just looks so shit when he's playing, so I don't understand. And then, nah, it turns out that I was absolutely correct, completely correct, that he is just so inept at the video game that, yeah, he couldn't possibly do that. That was a fake record.
Yeah, apparently what he did was he would like die in his game. I think he would just like record a lot of his game because it's like a 300-hour game.
Yeah.
And if he like downed, he would just put out and then load a mod menu and then like give himself the exact same amount of points, put himself in the exact same position, and just splice the game completely. But he was on the mod menu, so if he ever hit tab, it would show it. It would show like the mod menu. So he just unbound tab and told people he did it by accident, and like nobody thought about it for some reason until now.
Oh my god.
So like these things really matter. Like if someone's like, "Oh yeah, I have like tab unbound," like it was an accident. Like that's very fishy.
That was an act. That sounds so bait too. Now that you say it, oh, you check your kills. I have tab unbound. It was an accident. Nah, you need to tab, my brother. Oh my word. I can't believe that. So he just died because he's a shitter. He sucks.
I think the main reason he actually did cheat though was because he was just erroring. This is what he says. So like he was erroring and he thought it was like unfair, like how many games he lost. And it is like a really long game. So he just decided to do that because like he was erroring. But it was the box error. And it sucks because he was the reason people thought there was no box error in BO3.
Huh.
So his game just like fucked the BO3 community over.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I actually really wonder how long the well, what'd you call it? How long a player would stay in the community for, in terms of, you know, what's a generation in zombie community terms? Because you probably fucked so many people over in terms, or just multiple generations of people. Because when did he play that game? 2019, 2020? I'm not actually remember exactly.
Like 2020, I think. It was 2020.
Yeah, so he played that, and so that's 6 years, 6.5 years it took for people to find that out. That's a very long time in terms of, you think about, you know, progression of Doris as a map in the span of 6 years. It was a very long time where things were figured out. So yeah, he completely fucked the BO3. At least an arc, which
really did.
Fucked an arc. But I don't know if you know Chihiro, a Japanese player. He would have had the record otherwise, and he just got robbed. And to be fair, I did not know Chihiro moved like that. I didn't know he was, you know, a sick player. I just like, oh, I know he plays zombies and he's from Japan, but I didn't know he was sick like that. That he actually had the knocked record. Nah, that's bullshit. I don't like that. I don't like how my perception of a player that was good at the game was completely fucked over or completely misrepresented. That's really fucking stupid. Also, big ups. Oh, you're not speaking though. Oh, you forgot to speak?
Yeah.
That you speak into the mic. That's how you speak.
What?
What?
What are you saying?
I'm saying speak into the mic. Oh no, I was talking about Tom. I'm saying it took 6.5 years for people to find out that he cheated the game. And the thing is, right, I don't know if you've ever seen him play the game, right?
No, wait. I just missed like the last however many minutes when I turned your stream off to now.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything you were saying. Did I miss something?
Well, I was all right, this is what I was saying. I was saying it took him 6 years. So you know about the box error thing and how he got found out?
Yeah, I heard you explain that, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, right, is that because it took him 6 years, a bunch of people were erroring, right, for years, right? And I'm saying that think about in terms of, how, like 6 years of, the Reese time, from, when I started playing to, people now. So they're playing way better, way faster. That's just what happened. In 6 years, a really long time, zombie times. So I'm saying that he fucked over a lot of people. There are people that I know that I didn't think were that good at the game because I'm thinking, I mean, you do remember how Tom played the video game in terms of just
do you remember the movement course on Ascension?
Yeah,
that we had
I
him
remember
do?
that.
He was opening the Steam menu.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, I'm going to ask you. What happened to the fails of the week videos? Why did you take them off?
Nah, on my playlist. They're in my playlist.
But they're unlisted, right? You can't see them anymore. Why?
You can't see them on my videos, but you can see them on the playlist. I just want them there. I think I don't agree with the artistry. I think the artistry could have been a lot better. So I'm thinking, nah, I don't want that to represent the channel. So I put them in a playlist for the people that want it.
Yeah, but are you gonna innovate on the model or not? Because if you're not, then look, I've got shite videos out. I leave them up. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not standing by it. Nah, I'm not standing by it.
No, do you know what? There's people who message me in the past few years that I've not been around or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, oh, can you take this video down? So and so is taking the piss out of me. And there's only one. I'm not gonna say who it is or who asked, but there's only one of those messages which I actually took the guy up on. So one of those videos is gone. But other than that, it's a whole.
Wait, why did you accede to the? Well, why did you accept the accept his takedown request?
Because he's a nice guy,
and
you think he's a nice guy as well.
Yeah, okay. That's really funny. I didn't think you would do that for somebody, but yeah.
Well, no, it's not. It was just sort of. It was a couple of things. It wasn't just that. There was more than one reason. But I felt bad for the guy, and I was like, fine.
Oh, okay. I like seeing that side of you. I didn't think that you'd move like that.
Well, look, I haven't been around for years, so when someone messages me, I think, well, what is this video to me, And it wasn't like. Let me clarify, If it was one of the greatest hits, it would have stayed up, and I would have told.
If it was the firing video, then it has to stay up. Right,
yeah, but it was a sort of lesser video that was like, well, the void can consume it.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. you're good. The movement course. That's actually exactly what I was thinking of. This guy guy needs to be. Man, gaps wouldn't even be enough for him. That guy needs like a full-on boot camp.
Yeah,
no reflections.
Dude, speaking of reflections, that's a classic. Take me to gaps.
Yeah.
We invented that shit. Bro, I was so like when he unmodded me in his chat when I went in, I saw him streaming. And I was like, look, I get it. And Sour Patch did the same thing to me years ago when he became like a big Fortnite streamer with thousands of views. And it's like, bro, we used to play co-op on PS3. Like, what do you mean? You've unmodded me in your chat. But yeah, I get it. You want to be a big deal. You don't want me making commands and shit. Fair play.
Step 5? He doesn't want any step 5 commands.
Bro, so Fleur, I'm guessing that you missed. I think was it was at the start of 2025. It was me, Julian, Dank, and Tom. We did like a throwback stream. It's
Oh
highlight.
shit! Tom was. Nah, I've not seen it, but I didn't even know Tom was dead.
No, well, Tom bailed after like an hour.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't commit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know, and he played some old zombies clips and stuff like that. And it was a good time. But yeah, that's the last time I heard from Tom. As far as Tom, I had seen that Tom had got the record on Knacked, and I just assumed that Tom had sort of massively improved in the time that I've been gone.
Wait, but weren't we talking to him at the time when he got the Knacked record?
No, I definitely wasn't. Oh wait, no, you might be right.
Yeah, because that was like 2020, so of course we were talking to him at that point.
2020. It must have been later.
Nah, it was
2020. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
really?
It was June.
We were definitely, because when he did that movement course, I think he may have gotten the record before that, and that's why he was playing BO1.
No, do you know what I think it was? I think didn't he get like the world record with like mega gumballs or something like that?
No.
No, I think that he got a record that was like a lesser record when we were talking to him, because I don't remember it being that big a deal. I think he got the record with megas or something.
No, it was I swear you were around back then. There's no way you wouldn't have been.
What round was it?
It was 255 unlocked. It was the 300 hour game.
He never had a 250. He never had a 255 on anything but Revelations when I used to speak to him.
I needed purple jug to get a 255. Wait, hold on, not 255 BO3.
Yeah, get a date on this, because this is like 2023 at least. This is post me. This is AB. It's after Bagsy.
I could have sworn, because we would have been talking in 2020, and that's when he got the record. And so
he got a 255 in 2020.
Yeah.
Might have been.
I'm amazed.
That's what I'm saying. He is very bad at the video game, like mechanically speaking.
Fleur, do you remember I called him out because he would always say to me, "Oh yeah, you don't even have a 100." And do you remember he got around 100 on Derice with no gameplay? And I said, "There's no fucking way you've done this. Like, it's such a joke." You remember that, yeah? He claimed to have 100. He tried to like outdo me. He's like, "Oh, I've got 100 on Reese, and you've only got 96 or whatever." And I was like, "You've got no fucking gameplay. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit."
I don't.
We've seen him play Reese before. Remember?
Yeah,
he was using a strat tester.
Yeah.
And he thought. You remember that one time he thought he clutched it? He was in the back of the Tommy room. He thought he clutched it, and we had to remind him that he still had God mode on. And he got hit like 3 times after he went red or whatever.
Oh my! I don't remember that. That sounds really funny, and it sounds like something that he would do. But I do remember him doing strat test though.
With his stupid Irish accent. Oh my god! And I was like, "You got swiped 4 times after you went red screen, you fucking idiot!" Like literally, the guy was like getting his leg bitten off by the dogs and everything, and it was like that's not a clutch, Tom.
Leg bitten off by the zombie. Now you're killing me. The imagery there. I mean, yeah, he is that shit in the game though. That's the thing. He's that shit. So that's the thing. I'm thinking, how the fuck did we just let that? We just believe that. There's not. He is horrible. I mean, horrible.
Well, I mean, BO1 guys, we have this sort of image, which maybe isn't true. I don't know. But we have this sort of image of BO3 as an easy game. You know, you can slide, you get immunity frames and things like this. Obviously, gumballs in plain sight. You know, it's an extra panic weapon.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, I mean, at least I always thought of BO3 as like a very sort of casual. And I know there's guys who do mad shit on there, and there's some good players on there, but there's just this sort of notion of BO3, specifically Knacked, which is a map that I don't think is really that competitive, or at least it wasn't when I used to pay attention. Where it's like, well, you know, getting the record on Knacked is sort of like, I don't know, getting an Ascension no power record. I mean, I would have more respect for an Ascension no power record. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did Mamoon have that or something? I don't remember, but
yeah, he did.
You know, that was more. Rest in peace. That was more competitive than like BO3 and Act, you know.
No. So I thought because I knew Tom was really shit at the game. I was talking shit on the record. I'm thinking, yeah, this is not that hard. He just played for a really long time because there's no way that not could be hard because Tom Fantasy's getting the record. I know how shit he is at the game, right? Nah, Shelby was arguing to the grave with me. He was saying, nah, that's really fucking impressive. What the fuck are you talking about? This is really difficult, really hard. I'm thinking, you're talking shit. There's no way. And it turns out that, you know, I feel bad for Shelby because he kind of, you know, looks really fucking. He was made to look really fucking stupid by Tom Fantasy and his shenanigans.
Wait, how is that?
Yeah,
What you just said, it doesn't logically follow. How can anybody be made to look stupid by Tom Fantasy? that is not compute. That is like syntax error statement.
Man, we all got mugged off by him, to be fair.
No, we didn't. Oh, maybe you did. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, this is some dopey fucker who's entertaining. And that was the whole reason. That was the whole reason behind the podcast, right? It was this sort of Ricky Gervais, like Carl Pilkington type character.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't agree with you. I don't think we got swindled by Tom. I think Tom was good content, and that's why we used to talk to him.
And I think I got swindled by Tom.
Well, fair enough. I guess it's different because I didn't really care that much about the game, and I just sort of wanted to make stuff that was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't hold anything against these modders and stuff. I think it is sort of bizarre. It's a bizarre kind of psychology where you sort of want like the affirmation and things like that. But like I don't have a personal issue with firing. Like, you know, best of luck to him. It's not really that big of a deal that you faked a 100 speed run, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you disagree. I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't. I basically agree with most of the things you were saying in terms of, I do think it is just an affirmation thing in terms of you care about something, and then you wanting to reach those lofty sort of goals that are considered great in the community. And so I get that on a psychological level.
But you also don't want to go too big because then it becomes obvious that you cheated, right? So you get like you get a speed run. You don't get like the actual map record, right? You've got to sort of cushion it a little bit.
But Tom really pushed it, and he was.
Yeah.
This might be the most successful thing ever in terms of swindling the community. I don't think anyone.
Really?
In terms of how long he had it and how big of the fanfare he got for that record, oh yeah, 100%. At least for me.
Well, look, if we're going back into the sort of arcane, you know, pre-Bagsy era of like Sith Bash and the 2013 stuff, like, or maybe even Syndicate for that matter. I mean, how long before people really started paying attention, right? Because it was this old game, whatever, and nobody cared. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I also still have, because I was a BO1 guy and BO3 was sort of a joke, I'm sort of like, well, is it that big of a deal? I don't know. I understand somebody.
I mean,
like
he was getting he was getting, I think Dextero wrote an article about him getting the record playing for 300 hours, so it's on the level where...
I want to ask about that.
Would you say?
Finish your point now. Finish your point. I've got a question about it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Basically just finished as you said that.
So, what is happening with this sort of mainstream interest in high rounds that didn't used to exist? I was on YouTube a couple of months ago. I see Wonderful's getting 100,000 views. Big congratulations. I'm not hating on it, but I'm just wondering, like, what is the sort of sudden interest now? Where now you're telling me that this gaming publication is writing an article about this. I mean, this didn't used to happen, right? So like, what's going on?
No, I'm saying that's a unique event, because that happened at the time, and I'm saying that's a very unique event. What?
I mean, look, maybe I've just smoked too much dope and I don't remember anything, but like, this is not like my understanding of like that era.
Yeah,
this is just like so foreign to me.
I'm very surprised that it's so fucked in your memory, because to me this is. I mean, you definitely remember some other stuff that I don't remember, the specific sort of strat tested thing that I don't remember. I vaguely remember him being on God mode.
Moments,
Yeah. But no, this was he advertised. For me, I think the record got so big because of word of mouth, in terms of he was just so, I guess, dedicated to this narc thing, and everyone sort of was looking at, and then there were just specific things about narc being, oh, you know, it's a map that takes a really long time to get the 255 on. So I think it uniquely had attention that, you know, other records didn't have, because getting an article written about you is it's very strange. I don't even think it happens for, you know, any other game. That was a very sort of unique point in time. Maybe because it was Corona too, so more eyes were on a particular thing.
Well, look, a lot of these publications, they've got nothing to talk about, right? I mean, what is Dexerto going to talk about, you know?
I have no idea.
We built the 50th millionth gaming chair, right? That's who they are. They make the chairs, don't they?
No. I don't think Dexerto makes chairs. I think they're just a publication in general. But yeah, I mean...
Okay. Fair enough. I think
you may be thinking about DX Racing or something.
OG, like, game. You what?
I think it's thinking about DX Racer.
Yeah, I am. You're right,
Yeah, so I think that was just a unique point in time, and he just got a unique amount of attention, which is really unusual. And yeah.
So has he responded to this?
Yeah, I sent you the tweet on your. Let me just relink it in here, actually.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked at the tweet. It was just Dank just messaged me one day. He sent me this tweet.
Dank's like the fucking sheriff, like exposing everyone. I mean, we'll finish up on this, but I want to ask you what you think about the cheating allegations regarding like the French guys as well. Oh, so he's just here admitting it. Yeah, he says Nat 255 was cheated, shouldn't have done it. It is far too easy to cheat nowadays. What do you mean nowadays? As if it wasn't before on BO3. Not gonna try wiggle my way into explaining it. Oh, I mean, you could have at least, you know, as a good sport, tried to sort of cope about it and say, oh, well, you know, so-and-so, this, that, whatever, make up some bizarre excuse. I mean, that would at least have been more entertaining, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else? You what?
I said, if he fought to the grave for his 255, that would be real funny.
Purely for content reasons.
That Rock's Wrong. Do you remember the Rock's Wrong stream back in 2017? Because that was one of my first things that I saw about the zombies community. And so I'm seeing this Rock's Wrong thing, and he's just fighting. No, it's a completely legit record. And I'm thinking, man, you're getting 10-hour 100s. I don't know how the fuck you're playing fast enough to, you know, beat all these other people. And what the fuck are you talking about? The red flags were there. Maybe just the old zombies community just had more brain cells, because I don't know how the fuck we saw Tom Fantasy and then just said, yeah, no, this is totally a thing.
Well, because we didn't care about BO3.
Yeah, I didn't care about BO3, to be fair. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't give a fuck about BO3. If it was BO1, I would be 100% up his ass. I'm thinking, you're a shit player. I don't know what the fuck it... Yeah. I mean,
if you got Nat BO1, because Nat BO1's like, maybe not the hardest map, but it's a map you have to concentrate for a long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. You only have 2 hits, yeah.
Specifically, if you're doing that fucking Tommy stuff till like round 80 or whenever they do it.
100%, yeah.
The passing, like they split around the pillars. You got to be careful doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be on things. Yeah, go on.
I wanted to ask you about. So Crops made this video that I was featured in. So shout out to Crops, I guess.
Wait, really? You're featured in that?
Yeah.
You what?
I didn't know you were featured in that.
I don't think
he made like an offhand remark about the Fire Emblem video that I made, because Fire Emblem was subject.
Oh, right.
I've got to turn you up, Tricky. Hang on. But yeah. So there was this video that was made, and they said that there's all these guys cheating or whatever. Like, what do you think about that? Because I saw like, basically, so this weird thing happened where I had put out a tweet years ago, right? I think 2019. And it was Crops is the James Charles of the zombies community. That was the tweet. And so when this Crops video comes out, all these people, they start liking the tweet and retweeting it like 4 years later. What? And I'm like, what? Really I don't know who found it, like I guess somebody keyworded crops on Twitter and that came up because it was like a years old tweet. But anyway, so I saw there was a lot of backlash. He took down the video. I know Dank was a big advocate of that. He told me it's real, and we've got a guy who's done the mathematics, and he's got a university professor who says the maths check out, or something about the RNG possibility. So, I mean, what is the take here? I mean, are they cheating or what?
That was way past when I played the game, and you're talking about mathematics that I do not understand. So I'm thinking I couldn't give a fuck about trying to understand that. It's just one of those things where you start playing something, and so you just kind of don't give a fuck. I mean, actually, I really couldn't even really care too much about what Tom did, apart from I knew him. I talked to him at the time, and I'm thinking, I didn't know about this. I feel kind of responsible for, you know, in some way that this guy...
Yeah, but we weren't defending him.
Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't defending him. I was talking shit.
So it's like, yeah, we don't have any... I mean, not that I think it matters anyway, but you know, we don't have any responsibility. We weren't like, you know, feuding with people like, oh, what do you mean the record's fake? It's totally real, bro. Like, I never did that. I don't think you ever did that.
Yeah. Oh well, no one's calling it at the time, yeah. But I wish I was a little bit more skeptical. That's the thing. But I didn't care about BO3. I understand the reasons and why I didn't give a fuck, because fuck BO3, I don't care about, you know, shooting dead wire out of an RK5. It's not really that interesting for me. I like, you know, playing the video game, and, you know, the ray gun's actually a good weapon. You know, the Sallies are good. I prefer that traps. Yeah. So I couldn't give a fuck. And I thought, yeah, BO3 just must be easier, but I don't even think BO3 is actually... I mean, there are more safety mechanics, blah, 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 but I don't even think the game is necessarily easier. I think Tom getting that made me think that game was, you know, it sort of, you know, affirmed my bias in terms of, oh, BL3 is this Mickey Mouse game, in terms of I don't like it, and so it's easier, blah, blah, blah. Not really using, you know, too much logical thinking though.
Yeah.
But that Tom connection is way more logical, so he kind of sullied the game in a way. So I do feel a little bit bad, but I mean it's specs really. I couldn't give a fuck. It's just past the point that I care about the community. So, you know, with all the, you know, the French guys, I would have to look into, you know, do I need to get a math degree to, you know, understand?
Well, that seems to be the claim. Is yes, you do.
So
I mean,
so how the fuck am I meant to know?
I don't know.
And why did he take down the video? Was it just not a good video, or was it just, you know, peer pressure?
Not a good video. It was not a good video.
Well, apparently it was copyright strikes. At least that's what I was told. I was meant to get.
Yeah.
I was meant to get like an early review of it, but they didn't bother giving it to me in the end.
There's a really good segment.
Say again?
There's a really good segment in this Wonder video that talks about the Corrupts video and like why the math doesn't really work, and like a lot of their points were just bad. I don't know if you care to watch it, but if you're actually interested, yeah, definitely watch that. I linked the timestamp too.
I'm not that interested, but if I'm ever bored, I'll put it in the watch later, and maybe I'll get around to it.
It's only like a 5-minute segment. Like, don't watch the whole video, obviously, but like, yeah, I linked the timestamp in the chat. So, but I don't think there's any real proof that Phoenix is a cheater, and a lot of their math was just wrong. And they were counting stuff like doll trades and stuff. Like, it's actually worse to get more dolls, and they didn't take that into account, because like if you already have Gershes and you're not trying to trade dolls or trade for the dolls, like then it's actually worse to get them because you can't pick them up. You have to wait for them to go down type stuff. So
yeah.
They didn't take that into account. They just was like, oh, they got dolls more, so it's lucky, stuff like that. And Slayer, their point about Slayer was really bad. That was the worst point, because they said he was missing gameplay from his Doris game and his playlist, right? But at the top, you can see at the playlist, it says 2 unavailable videos hidden due to copyright. And they just didn't even think about that in the year that they were making this video. They didn't even see that at the top, so.
So it was badly researched.
Yes, very badly researched. I feel like they just wanted to make this point. Like, they're in their own Discord server, just like hyping each other up. And honestly, yeah, I don't think the video is great. I think the stuff about Unpulv though was good. I'm kind of glad that got exposed. That's like the one aspect of the video I liked.
Wait, who got exposed?
Some fucking irrelevant idiot that was like bullying some guy in the community.
Oh, okay.
But like actually going on Facebook and like messaging his mom, like crazy shit like that. Yeah, this like autistic kid in the fucking community, and he's
Yeah.
like going on Facebook, and he's like messaging Zomba's dad or something on Facebook too. It's like, what the fuck are you
What?
doing?
Yeah, so this guy's doing like kiwi farms tier stuff, man.
Yeah. Kiwi farms on fucking zombies. What the fuck? It's not that deep.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when, you know, I used to be like massively overconfident, and I remember giving out my address.
Yeah,
Since
that's crazy.
discovering, you know, the kiwi farms and how schizophrenic some people on the internet are, I just sort of regret that. I mean, I don't think anybody saved it, but, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how.
No, I remember that. That was the Sly Raven saga, where he's trying to. I mean, I don't know if it was specifically in response to that, but he said, you know, send me your address, and I think I think it may have been a response to that, because he was trying to get people to. He was trying to. I mean, he was trying to, or at least he was, you know, doing fake bravado. I don't even know how the fuck we had beef with Sly Raven. I think I was just trying to talk shit. That's it. Because Sly Raven is just a nice guy.
No. It was before that. Well, not before that. It was before you.
Oh, okay.
Basically, you know, like, did I ever explain to you like what the concept of Frog Fam was? Why it came about, why it was called that? So, Frog Fam was essentially, you could think of it as like the Baguette Boys youth division or something like that. We were all fans and shit like that. And basically, they had made this sort of Baguette Boys, right? It was sort of slightly racist, etc. So we embodied that. What you know, French people, they eat baguettes. You know, people say they eat frogs or they look like frogs, whatever. You know, you see Nigel.
Yeah.
You look at like Nigel Farage, for example. Like he's a Huguenot, you know, ethnically French, and he's got this sort of frog face and stuff like that, right? So yeah, that's where it came from.
All right. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, so we inherited their beef essentially with Sly Raven. The Sly hated them because they were, you know, toxic or whatever their claim was, and we could have inherited that, and that's why there was beef.
I think that was a reference to French stuff. Oh my word! I had no idea. This is lore I did not know, or you may have told me, and I just completely forgot about that. That was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's the origin story. Ironic. I mean, look, I had no idea about any of like this sort of internet alt-right stuff at the time, and Pepe and stuff like that. It's sort of ironic that it was a frog and it was racist, but there was no connection to any of that.
You think the wrong frogs are really that racist? But you never even used those emotes. That's like a dank thing. I don't think anyone in Frog Fam was using any of those. What was that? Pepe frogs? I don't think anyone used that. Like OS frogs.
No, we always used it was the iOS frog.
Yeah. That's what we used. Yeah, iOS frog, and then sometimes OS frog.
Yeah,
sometimes SM Orc.
I never had an Android phone, so I never used that. But yeah, so we inherited their beef, and that's where the Sly issue comes from. The Sly thing goes back a number of years, but I think. Yeah, and there was some other issue where there was some transgender guy who said that he would cut my balls off, and I was like, bro, if you live in England, like, I'll actually fight you, like, you know, like, it's not, I don't do that. Because I think, you know, threatening people, like, with violence on the internet, I just think it's such a fucking joke, and it's like, you know, you say what you want about people, about how I've shit-talked people, and maybe I've taken it too far or whatever, but I've never, like, threatened violence on people and shit like that. It's
100%.
It's empty threat bullshit, like, small man shit. I hate that.
100%, yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't like that.
Well, yeah,
just sending your address, so it actually allows them to do that, which is really funny.
Yeah. Because it's like, fucking, you know, people like that. It's not.
So you're calling that bluff, basically.
Yeah. Although me and Hydro really scrap, because me and Hydro live actually quite close to each other. We nearly, we actually nearly met in real life for a punch up.
Wait, why? What the fuck? Hydro out of people?
You know, Azra Zombie Slayer.
Yeah.
So Azra was like sending him money that he said he would pay back and he wouldn't, and Sean Tango put me onto it and was like, this guy's a fucking freak, whatever, and I got in a Discord and I was like, I was just doing the most. I mean, you know, ranting at him about how he got molested when he was a child. I was like probably trying to get under his skin. And it came down to it. I was like, get on a fucking bus right now. It's an hour, and like, let's just scrap in it. And you know, we ended up diffusing it. And I've spoke to him since. You know, we sort of looked back at it with sort of smiles and laughs. But yeah, it got real for a second. That could have actually, the zombies community could have gone kinetic.
I can't imagine
because he's
Hydro
from
scrapping though.
Bridlington. He, I don't know where he is now, but he lives like an hour away from me, or he did.
Yeah, I can't imagine that because Hydro seems kind of, you know, a little bit slow. I don't know if you just listen to the way he speaks. I'm thinking, how the fuck is he gonna scrap? Like, does he even know where his hands are? I'm not even joking.
No,
He
dumb
seemed
people
really
can
slow.
scrap. Dumb people can and usually do scrap because they get themselves into dumb situations where they have to do it.
You know what? That's probably true.
What else is on my mind? Oh yeah, Tricky's. Tricky's still here?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so I was just like on YouTube a couple of months ago, and your stuff, like, I guess it's getting in my algorithm somehow or whatever. I was watching some stuff.
Oh, really?
And it was quite good. I enjoyed it. And I was watching, I think it was your Call of the Dead video of so-and-so escapes from, what was it? Some Eastern European
Siberia.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? I was thinking, is he talking about that channel? The one that you stream on. But no, he's talking about your actual
No.
because in my head that's a really long time ago now. But yeah, no, those videos are
really
fucking
is,
jokes. Yeah. He
Yeah,
definitely he succeeded us, I think.
Yeah,
Or at
well,
least
that's
you.
what I was gonna ask Tricky if, you know, you sort of, were you consciously sort of carrying the baton for us, you know, because it's obviously it's more well edited than the stuff I used to do, but it was sort of reminiscent of Sly Raven the movie at one of these videos.
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. I definitely slightly conscious about that at the time, but yeah, I would say I was a big fan of your videos, actually. You and like Flair's like fails of the week and stuff. There was a little bit of consciousness there about that, for sure. But yeah, it was my own way of doing it, pretty much.
Yeah, no, you innovated on the model, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and congratulations, by the way, on the success. You know, you've outdone at least the views I got and stuff like that.
And he was beefing with Greg FPS. He actually got Greg FPS to start beefing with him. That was so funny.
Yeah.
The
best we did was, I don't think we ever got any, you know, at least.
No, we did.
YouTube
or at least I did. I did Russian zombies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cherry the Gamer, they hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
clipped their stream of Russian, like, bending over and twerking, and Cherry was, like, slapping his ass, and I OBS it before they take it out.
I just remember there was this, it was Chihiro playing Origins, and the guy goes into the chat and just says Ching Chong Bing Bong, and somebody screamed. Oh, I think it was Shelby that screenshotted it, just saying, "What's this?" Yeah, that guy was really I'm glad Wonderful, because you were talking about Wonderful success. I'm glad he got successful. And the thing is, you know, I think you might be a little bit wrong in terms of, you know, how come it's getting attention all of a sudden now. No, I think it's always had attention. It's just that we didn't even own our own sort of content in terms of, it was just all these guys making videos on us. And I remember it was like Johnny J made a video on, you know, my trade strat game, 246. And he said, okay.
Huh? Remember Nick Sari?
Yeah, Nick Sari, Big Sari. Yeah, what'd you call it? Johnny J made a video and it was me failing the triple trap loop, and he was saying, okay, so this is the strat that this guy played. And I'm thinking, man, I got fucking forced to M1 carbine. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the strat that I played in the game. I was fucking trading the whole time. Why'd you show my worst thing ever? You know, that was a mistake. And he said that was the strat that I played. Man, I felt humiliated. So, you know, for a long time, those videos would get views, right? And so these guys have been stealing. I'm not saying like stealing our content in the traditional way, but he's sort of, you know, stealing the things that we could have been doing.
Well, no, the problem was in the contempt for the mainstream zombie YouTubers went far back, even before my time. Of like, these people, they're so ignorant. It's total slop. it's just this nonsense, like, oh, I watched 5 minutes of a VOD, let me tell you how it happened. Instead of like DMing the guy and be like, I'm making a video, can you tell me this, and that, right? Which is what you should do. Instead, there was always this separation between like normie zombie stuff and actual high rounds.
Yeah.
Where, you know, because I used to play like couch co-op zombies at friends' houses and stuff like that. And they'd be telling me all this stupid bullshit they watched on these YouTube videos, and I'm like, you lot are fucking stupid, man. Like, but I tell you what, there was one time where it was like, it was just this bizarre moment. There was two guys at my house, and we were just smoking weed, and they start. I don't know how it came up, but somehow zombies came up, and I mentioned like, oh yeah, I play high rounds and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And the guy starts saying, oh yeah, I watched this World at War video, and this guy was on like round 1,000, and I was like, well, whose video was it? And he said Krubs. And I was thinking,
that's crazy.
My brain just exploded. I was like, so this random stoner from Northern England has seen a Krubs video?
Nah, that's crazy. Because we were beefing with Krubs. I remember why I started beefing with him too. Yeah, did you tell him?
Well, me and Krubs had sort of smoothed things over.
Oh yeah, no, man, me and Krubs are good, of course, 100%.
So I said to him, I said, yeah, this guy used to be a real, I'm not going to say the word because I think it's TOS on Twitch, but this guy was a real F word.
Yeah.
And now he's actually all right.
Yeah. No, Krubs is all right for sure. Yeah, that's really funny that. I don't think I've talked to anyone IRL talking about zombies and they know who people are.
Yeah, that's a one-time event for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brad though.
Actually, no. Actually, I do remember somebody talking about zombies IRL. They were talking about going for a no revive on Nuketown to get a ZR record. I'm thinking, oh my. Now, mind you, I was in a world record contender, but even then, I was sort of saying, you know, that's not a real record. What the fuck are you talking? A no revive record. What the fuck are you talking? Some like Mickey Mouse nonsense.
Oh, cheapskate records. Yeah, wait for them get your name. Yeah, those should have just all been removed. It should have just been, to me, it would just be like solo, co-op. I wouldn't even have free player games. Fuck, you'd have to do such a sick record for you to open a leaderboard. It would have to be that, you know, that buried free. So there was some guys doing, you know, 200 ping Brazil. For some reason, Brazilians just know what they're doing. There's a bunch of Brazilians doing a buried co-op. I'm not even joking. Well, look, they take out the Pedro.
Oh, no, that's true, yeah. Pedro Pagamo, whatever the fuck he...
The greatest zombies player of all time.
Yeah. I still don't know who the fuck that is. I didn't know that was a real guy. I thought that was some...
That's one of my favorite clips of all time, is Rick explaining to you that Pedro is an actual person.
Yeah, I had no idea. Some,
was that the last stream we did together? Well, I hosted Rick's stream. Do you remember? I like turned my face cam off. Rick went to like do something, and I like hosted Rick's stream in the middle of his Shan game.
Oh, no!
I think that was the last time we were on the stream together. It was like 2022.
Wow! Wait, that was in 2022 when he got Shan?
No, not when he got Shan.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
No, not the record. It was just a random game. He was on like round 80 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad he's got the record back.
Did you have the record now?
Well, no, it was some like, rule technicalities thing, so he's got the record again.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really been paying attention past that point. It was when he lost it because of the technicality. That was past the time I was playing, so I couldn't give a fuck on what was happening, to be honest. You know, do you? Trickers was asking me, so what do you think about the box era track? I'm saying, I honestly couldn't give a fuck. Honestly, it's just, whatever you guys choose to do, that's your thing. That, you know, the torch is definitely being passed now. You know, I'm retired to a TG fast room for fun. You know,
there's no desire to reconquer the race.
Nah, definitely not.
No, do you know what? Part of like when because it was Dank that came to me about the Krubs video, because Dank's the only one I really still talk to. Sometimes Julian, and Neptune as well, but mainly like that.
Holy fuck, I haven't heard that name in so long. Neptunio? Like Neptunio
Yeah,
Pup?
yeah.
No,
He's
that's
my favorite.
madness.
He's my second favorite Mexican, just behind Julian.
Wait, Julian's a Mexican? I thought he's native.
Is he? No,
Yeah.
he's Mexican. I've spoke to him about this. No,
Wait, maybe he's a native Mexican. What the fuck?
what does that even mean?
Well, because they
Native
have, because they have their own indigenous tribes. They have different ones than America has, obviously. So I'm saying he might be indigenous,
Right,
but
it's
just
still
a
like,
Mexican variety.
it's still a mostly Hispanic mixed population, right? Like they have Spanish ancestry.
I'm talking about the real people, not the people that got colonized. Fuck the people that got colonized. I'm talking about the real people, the one that kept their lineage. Thought he was one of those, but I think it's because somebody said that he lived on a reservation. That's why. That's why I thought,
that was total bullshit.
Oh, was it?
Made up. Yeah, he doesn't live on a fucking reservation.
Who the fuck made that up? What the fuck? Unbelievable.
Oh, he does live in a log cabin in the forest, but it's not a Native American reservation.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? That's I completely bought that. I'm thinking, oh yeah. And then I see what Julian looks like. I'm thinking, oh yeah, no, I completely buy that. He's just some like Native American guy. Probably has some like, you know, casino owning family or something. That's what I was thinking, but honestly, that's kind of disappointing because I like that lore. That was very interesting lore.
Do they have reservations in New Mexico?
What, in Mexico or New Mexico? I didn't know what you
New
said.
Mexico, that's where he lives.
Yeah, you have to look on the map. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. He lives in the mountains.
I mean, yeah, mountain time. So it's called that.
But anyway, so Dank brought this video to me, the props video about, you know, claiming so and so cheated, and part of me wanted to believe it just so that you would have the Reese record again, so we could play it to the side and be like, "Fuck you, you're not legit." You know, Blair still runs it, right?
Yeah. That's really funny. I like the loyalty. Nah.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is that I hated all those guys. He was accusing of cheating, like the ones that I knew. So I was just in my head, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about any of this mathematics, but yeah, fuck them. Like,
yeah, no, that's fair. Because Dank used to be in the server Tricky Zones called Zoo, and well, I mean, he's in there now. What do you call it? He would always talk about Phoenix cheating. I would just always argue with him, saying, "Man, you need to show some proof." Because all you're talking about, man, he's been talking about that since actually he's been talking about that way before that, but seriously talking about it since 2022. So be talking about it to me. I'm saying it's not that I don't really care. It's just you have to have some robust evidence. You can't just call people, because I don't like that. I don't like people getting called out for cheating and it's just, you don't have any evidence? Like, what the fuck is that? You know, I want some like court shit. You know, people spent, especially Phoenix. I mean, that guy's been playing the game forever. You need some court shit, because that's basically like his second life.
Yeah, and it's his first life. You can't take away his legacy.
Yeah. Basically, at this point, for sure. Probably in comparison to most people, he's played the most. Nah, you can't.
Yeah, no, he has. He's got insane hours. He had like, when I saw it, he had like 16,000 hours or something ridiculous.
Jesus fucking
like when
Christ.
that guy's gonna be on his deathbed, like, you know, I am best Black Ops 1 player and all this shit, right?
Yeah,
he's fucking gonna get a meeting with Macron, world leading fucking zombies player. Get like whatever the French version of a knighthood is.
Yeah. I don't think I have that though. Like Revolution and stuff. So.
French Revolution and all that shit. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've got to apologize to you actually, because years ago we had a debate where I said that caring about history is stupid and that you can't like put yourself there and you don't know what's true and stuff like that. And I still, to some degree, hold those positions.
Oh, of course,
I was totally wrong not to see the value in not even looking at it as a factually accurate, but more in the sort of mythological sense that this is a cultural understanding. And that's when I think back to like the debates and stuff we had that I remember. That's one that I've like, I was totally.
I do remember that debate that you're talking on, because I think about that in terms of I have to remind myself, it's that, you know, actually that's kind of what I find interesting about history in terms of the what is real, what is not, and how much does it even really matter anyway, because there is this sort of cultural understanding people have about history that doesn't necessarily map onto reality, but it's important for their narrative, and so it sort of becomes true in the sense that people are acting on ideas that what you call it? They're acting on these sort of ideas that may necessarily be true. Yeah. So in that sense, it's kind of important. But even in I mean, yeah, I mean, in terms of you, it's not like I don't hold the views of, you know, history is just this, you know, true telling or something. Of course it isn't. I was probably just more, you're probably just more on, like farther to the side than I was, quite a bit farther to that side. And that's where the disagreement came from. Cause yeah, no, I definitely do agree with that for sure. In terms of, especially the further back you go. And it does take, you have, and this is what kind of sucks about, because I didn't give a fuck about history in school. It's one of those things where we don't get really taught how people figure out history in terms of how do we know what's true or not. And if you don't get taught that, then yeah, of course you're gonna feel because as a kid I used to, because so when I was 5, right, when I found out the tooth fairy wasn't real, I stopped believing in, I stopped believing, well, I didn't really believe in religion because I would always question that as a kid. I completely said, oh, this is definitely not true because they lied to me about the tooth fairy, that Santa shit doesn't feel real. And so I'm thinking, okay, religion's real, but I took it further than that, right? Because I'm trying to apply it to everything because they're lying to me about things that seem ridiculous. And you're telling me that people, you know, like fucking follow the king because, you know, his lineage. It's like in year, this would have been way later. And I just remember learning about, you know, like the Celts and shit. And I'm just thinking, this sounds fucking fake. That sounds like what I'm playing like on my fucking DS. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So they're teaching me shit, but I don't really know where they're getting it from. I think they're lying. And in some cases, yeah, they are. In some cases, they don't know. They're kind of just telling us that. Because it's the best thing that we have right now in terms of like the theory on what happened. But yeah, I think we should learn the sort of method. I don't know if you know who this guy is. I recently found him, maybe, you know, 2 years ago, Stephen Kotkin. And he's a Stalin historian. And he was talking about the actual method of historiography in terms of the way he's actually finding stuff out. And obviously, you know, we have the internet and we, you know, look stuff on the internet quite a bit to research stuff. But he was saying that you're stupid to think that you can find, you know, information on the internet about particular things just because, well, how you know, the Soviet Union wasn't digitized. At least most of it wasn't, because it's just, you know, when did it fall? You know, 90s.
Era, right?
What'd you say?
Not in the Stalin era, and there was so much, you know, revisionism with the sort of de-Stalinization and stuff like that. But yeah, even the records are total bullshit. Yeah.
And he's saying that, oh yeah, you know, you actually need to go through the, you actually need to physically go through the records, and he's talking about, you know, well, how do you search records, blah, 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 but also the linguistic sort of thing in terms of our linguistic understanding of, let's say, like, if I translate, so I've been learning Japanese for 2 years now, by the way.
Can we get a demonstration?
Oh, send me something to read, because I'm definitely a reader. Tricky's definitely more a speaker because he went over there. He lived over there for half a year.
Oh, so wait, when you say give me something to read, like, will you read it out loud?
Yeah, I can read it, as in I can produce the sounds, but I can't because I don't speak to anyone.
You won't read it in Japanese?
Yeah, I'll read it in Japanese, but and then I'll translate what it says. But the thing is, I can't. I don't know if you know the difference between active and passive vocabulary. So passive is, if I see it, I know what it means, but I can't actively produce it because I don't use the language, because I have nobody to speak to. So you'd have to send me something, or I can just show you stuff. I mean, I've got a bunch of Japanese sentences.
I was just trying to bait you to say something in Japanese, right?
Nah, yeah. So
I just wanted to hear what, like, that sort of you know, southeastern British accent sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So the I mean, I also, I mean, I used to speak Slovak. That was actually my first language because I lived with my grandma for 2 years because my mom was going through uni. And so
Yeah.
I do have some understanding in terms of you can't just directly translate things because the structure of the language is different in terms, and the philosophy of
Right.
the language is different. Some things may be expressed through idioms,
Yeah.
whereas, you know, we may just say, you know, quite a literal thing. And so you can't just and here's the fucked thing. So let's say we use a lot of terms from, you know, different countries, especially when we're talking about political systems and we talk about fascism, right? But
Yeah.
fascism, when these records talk about fascism or any of these things like this, they're not talking about the things that we're talking about now. Even if you're talking about the
Yeah.
English language back in the 40s, you know, if people were talking about fascism in the 40s, that's in the English language, they're not talking about the same thing. So the fact that he's sort of, I mean, obviously he's going to be cognizant of all of these things. I like seeing the sort of, you know, tinkering things that he's doing in terms of, and explaining it too. I really appreciate the
Yeah.
explanation of the particular sort of method that you're using and the being aware of all these different things because you know, especially you know, there are tons of things. We have tons of biases that you know, obviously we need to confront. You know,
Right.
if we're trying to, you know, find out the truth of something, and if you don't, then how the fuck are you gonna find out the truth? You're not.
No, it's an interesting point. I remember in school they used to tell us about Hitler, and you know he's this charismatic leader, etc. And they
Mm-hmm.
used to play speeches, and I used to never understand it.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think about 18 months ago, I think I first heard an Oswald Mosley speech, and
Mm-hmm.
when I
Is that the
listened to that,
British fascist guy?
I just instantly understood because it's the same
Mm-hmm.
tone, same demeanor. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
fascist speech, it's almost like a car. It revs up and then it plummets, and it revs up and then it
Mm-hmm.
plummets. And yeah, when I heard Mosley speak at like a Black Shirts rally, it just
Mm-hmm.
instantly clicked.
Mm-hmm.
But I could
By the
never get
way,
that from listening to Hitler in German. Yeah, go ahead.
mm-hmm. By the way, you have really
Uh-huh.
good metaphor usage in terms of the way you speak, the way you know, create imagery when you speak. I don't know. That's something that I've definitely noticed about you. I don't
Mhm.
um because I know because when we or I remember when you were doing your GCSEs when we talked and you were just saying so I don't even know what the fuck is happening or you were not even really paying attention, just Snapchatting me and
Yeah.
it didn't seem like you really gave a fuck. But in terms of yeah, I've met lots of people that, you know, I would consider, you know, quite intelligent. For you to, you know, I'm kind of bigging you up in terms of, you know, your ability to talk about or to create imagery. I don't know if you, I mean,
Yeah.
you know who George Orwell, Eric Arthur Blair is.
Yeah, of course.
His essays, he has one English, this like English literature in the or literature in the English language or something like that. It's something about the English language, and he's talking about what makes a good writer. And
Yeah.
one of the things is he goes on about dying metaphors, and he makes a distinction between dead metaphors, dying metaphors, and he's saying that people that use dying metaphors they don't produce images in people's heads
Yeah.
because no one knows what a lot of these words mean that, you know, because they're old concepts, you know, concepts from, you know, more of like an industrial era of Britain.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
no one's really calling an image. So the fact that you're, you know, talking about Tom on the Reese and he's saying, you know, he's playing so bad that a dog is biting his leg off. I'm thinking, yeah, man, you're cooking with that 100%. You know, it's like an
Yeah.
engine and it's revving and it's going up. Yeah, no, I 100% appreciate that about you. Have you been doing anything in terms of you just start writing or what?
No, I wouldn't say I do that consciously. But I do read a lot these days, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe the biggest difference about the version of me that you knew and the version that
Mm-hmm.
exists now is
Mm-hmm.
that I have been actually quite moved by thinkers
Mm-hmm.
to actually sort of get an understanding of the world. You know, I read philosophy now and things like
Oh yeah.
things that you would not expect me to do,
Mm-hmm.
or that
Mm-hmm.
version of me to do. Like I'm a big Nietzschean, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think that
I
I've
read
always had that
Carl
sort of
Jung, by the way, so I
yeah.
definitely know. I've not read any of Nietzsche's stuff, so I don't know like his full philosophy. But no,
Well, the thing about Nietzsche is that there's very few people who are really going to be honest about Nietzsche, and
mhm,
the sort of liberal establishment
mhm,
They are not. They are like they'll give you like 80%, you know, but they're constantly trying to refute this idea that Nietzsche influenced the Third Reich, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
there was this great documentary the BBC made about Nietzsche, and it was brilliant until the last 10 minutes. In the last 10 minutes, they addressed the sort of Hitler question, and they said, "Oh well, Nietzsche would have thought that National Socialism was a bastardization of his ideas, and so on and so forth." And it's like if you ask Nietzsche what he thought about the Third Reich, he would say it's complicated. And if you've read the first essay of On the Genealogy of Morals, you absolutely see that. And it's not a surprise that Hitler was a fan and liked his work, and that and that he attended the Nietzsche archives, etc. So the liberal establishment, they're terrified of this sort of they want to make it like more acceptable, and like it's not. They want to take the sort of nastiness out of it. Nietzsche was very moved by Darwin. It's a very sort of the strong will dominate the weak, and that's right. It's the way of the world. The Christians will moralize because they're weak and pathetic, and they're a sort of peasant religion,
slave,
right?
slave,
Slave morality.
I know
I
a
mean,
little bit, yeah.
to just sort of throw all my cards on the table here. In the last few years, I've been very influenced by Richard Spencer, and I think that he is one of the most misunderstood people I've ever heard. I think that it's not even like, I'm not saying that the sort of mainstream critique of him is wrong, but there's so much more to him that people would never get. The first time I ever heard him speak, I was so amazed. And I honestly think he's the greatest right-wing thinker of the 21st century. And I think that, I think he's one of the only good right-wing thinkers of the 21st century. I mean, I hate all of
he is really different. I've heard him speak. I was actually very surprised because I know
wait, Flo, you're a Destiny guy, right? Or at least you introduced me to him.
Yeah. I've seen him.
Have you ever heard his conversation with Destiny?
Yeah, no, that's where I was very surprised. Yeah,
that is a brilliant representation of Richard. I think he's amazing. And I'm glad you've heard that, because you really get what I'm saying if you've heard that.
Yeah, I was very surprised. So when you say that, I'm thinking, okay, I see why you would be surprised, because the way he is painted particularly doesn't seem, he seems so different in terms of the way that when he's talking about his ideas. Now I don't even really know what to make of his ideas. I remember that they had some contention on the greater enemy question, in terms of Richard Spencer was saying
we need an enemy. Society needs an opposing force to unify itself.
Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because watching Destiny after that, he sort of saying, he's sort of recalling that conversation, because it's something that lingered in his head, and clearly mine too. And he was saying, maybe he's right in terms of, maybe there does need to be this sort of greater force, because America right now, he's I don't even know where Richard Spencer's from, but at least
he's from Montana. Oh, I think he was born in Dallas. He's lived all over. He's a sort of from a money family.
Yeah.
His mom was big in real estate and stuff like that.
It's funny that a lot of the political thinkers too are from money, now that I think about it. At least more like pop political thinkers. Yeah. Now that I think about it, but that's definitely something that's lingered in my brain in terms of what he's talking about. Sort of removing him from, because I don't know, the full extent of his views or whatever. I'm just kind of taking him at his word.
I would never lie and tell you that there isn't a fascist undertone to his way of thinking. There absolutely is, and I'm okay with that. I mean, other people might not be, but I can see people sort of get confused and stuff like that. But yes, I mean, he has a sort of fascist undertone to the way he thinks. I wouldn't call him a fascist, but there are fascist elements to his thinking for sure.
And so that was definitely very surprising how just on a level that they were able to talk to, because I've seen Destiny talk to a bunch of right-wing guys, and just generally disappointing in terms of the thoughts that they're able to produce. And it's funny because when you call him right wing, I mean, I'm kind of critical of the the left right sort of split, especially now. I don't know how much it really makes sense.
Well, I'm using the terms
historically.
The right wing is a hierarchical way of thinking versus the left is an egalitarian.
Okay. Yeah, he's
But Spencer's not a conservative. He's never been a conservative, even though he was around the sort of Buchanan people in the 2000s. I mean, he's never been a conservative thinker.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
But he's sort of boxed in. Like, people think he's a sort of previous version of Nick Fuentes, and that just isn't the case. He's nothing like Nick Fuentes. And I'm critical of the fact that he sort of remains on good terms with Nick. I think that Nick is another one of these conservative guys who's going to steal your ideas and bastardize them and use them for his own gain. So I don't like the fact that he remains on good terms with Nick. I think that Nick uses his ideas and sort of to get ahead, and Nick is just not. He's never going to embody that. He's a Christian. He's a conservative. He's all of these things.
Which is funny because personal life is just so contrarian to the sort of, at least the caricature that exists of Christianity in sort of American society. He seems to go so against that, in terms of like personal things that he does. Catboy.
You're talking about Nick?
Fuentes. Yeah, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, no, Nick too. If we want to be because I'm not like a seething Nick hater, so I'll be fair about it.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of all these claims. I know what the A-logs say, etc. And I think there's a lot to it. I think it's fair to question his sexuality, etc. But Nick is a sort of surprisingly secular thinker. I'm not even talking about like the sort of personal life stuff. I think that he comes from that sort of pre-World War II right wing that was less Christian in the way that it thought. And I don't know if you know this, but like America First was essentially a movement in the 1940s which was opposing, U.S. involvement in World War II.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. But yeah, he's a very secular thinker, in my opinion. And he's also great at aphorisms. You were talking about linguistics. Nick is brilliant at aphorisms. Saying something like having sex with women is gay. People, it's a provocative statement. It gets people to laugh or whatever. But there's a deeper aphorism there that it's almost something that could have been in like the interludes from Beyond Good and Evil, where you become obsessed with sexual image to such a high degree that you basically become like a homosexual. And people never give him credit for this sort of use of aphorism. That is his strongest element as a speaker. I think he's great at that.
I'll have to look into the full extent of aphorisms, because that's at least I don't know what that word means off the top of my head.
Do you know what that means?
No, off the top of my head I don't.
An aphorism is a statement that is it's incorrect, but it reveals something. So like the father, what is it? The child is the father of the man, right? That is an incorrect statement, but it reveals something, that the child was the paternal lineage of the man. That's what an aphorism is. And Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil is just covered in them.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like it's pretty standard in philosophy. Yeah, it's not used as much anymore. I think it's a big 19th century thing.
Would you think it's in terms of, you're definitely more intellectual in comparison to, because you didn't, it seems like you didn't give a fuck about school, because I particularly didn't give a fuck about school in terms of, I would have been just like you, but there is this sort of scholarly sort of independent sort of pursuit that you embody, I would say. You're definitely speaking on a way higher level, and it just seems that you evolved outside of this, school system. For me particularly, I feel the same way about myself, so I definitely do recognize that more in you. Because I'm more privy to that. Yeah, go on.
Look, I'll be honest about my journey. I was a 2020, 2021 guy who started to give a shit about this throughout the pandemic, I was an anti-vax guy. I was a, sort of COVID skeptic guy, etc. And I sort of embodied the times, and I became a big libertarian and stuff like that. And I started reading Rothbard. Yeah, go on.
You kind of, because I remember the positions, it kind of felt like you would always, you even before that, because we would have been speaking in 2018, it kind of felt like you would have been just more libertarian in general in terms of, I would see you going in that direction.
Comes from the lifestyle of drug use and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
But yeah, so I was a big libertarian, all this stuff, and then I went to the source and started reading Rothbard and Ron Paul and Mises and all this shit. And I don't want to badmouth it too much because I think there's a lot of value in the economic stuff, and I actually did make a lot of money off this by investing in gold and basically doubling my money, and I bought a sports car with it, and so I don't want to just hate on it, but it is a sort of political ideology for teenagers. The conception of this sort of communal living, no state, it's a sort of ridiculous idea. Particularly Rothbard, because he's writing during the Cold War, and like I think he published the Libertarian Manifesto in like '73 or something like that. And he's saying, oh well, when we go libertarian, we're gonna, decommission the nation state, etc. The Russians they'll be so amazed by it, they'll just do the same. And it's like, this is a completely ahistorical, massive misreading of human nature. I was never big on the non-aggression principle anyway, but, seeing some of those arguments, it was really like, what the fuck?
I'm actually quite surprised by the argument too, yeah.
It was, it's his worst argument by far. It's right at the end of the book. It felt like it was sort of just tacked on, it needed addressing, right? Maybe the publisher wanted a piece on it or something. It was a very weak argument. But yeah, so I started to sort of come across these sort of contradictions, etc. And so as I was a big, conspiracy guy, I listened to a lot of Alex Jones, and I sort of went further and got into like Alan Watt, who's dead now, but he was imagine like Alex Jones, but if he was like an intellectual, that was Alan Watt. It was more well researched, well put, etc. But it was the same kind of thing. And so I'm like swimming around in this sort of conspiracy right-wing ecosystem, and I came across Adam Green, who is he's a Christ mythicist, a big anti-Christian guy. And he's a sort of, you could think of him as a sort of anti-Semitic atheist. Like Christianity, he focuses on not only the fact that, not like, like a normal atheist would of, oh, it's not true, these claims are wrong, etc., but sort of goes deeper and asks the questions, well, if this is lies, who lied about it, who wrote it, why did they do this, etc. He's got a really good reading on it, and the sort of theology of the Jewish Messiah. He's supposed to conquer the world, the nations will bow to him, etc. Christ is fulfilling that role. He's a sort of, and Nietzsche was, this is how I got into Nietzsche, him and Spencer. This is where I heard Spencer was on Adam Green's show. And, Nietzsche always put it like the Jews had to reject their instrument of revenge so the world would take it on. That's from the genealogy of morals. By the way, this is why me and Dank still talk so much. Dank, he's a big Christian guy. We are constantly having religious debates, and I'll give Dank a lot of credit because he really showed me the value of written debate. That we would essentially think of like a page on Snapchat, right? Like if you scroll up, we would send each other, 3-4 pages of text. There's like 8 different points being argued at once, and so. Big up Dank because I appreciate the engagement.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I like that you like Dank because I really like Dank because we find a lot of disagreements too, and I value that he's not somebody that's a pushover. When people are in a group, a lot of people will just sort of acclimate to the general opinion over time. I like how Dank stays to his, like, he'll apologize for particular bad behaviors, but he'll say, no, I believe these particular things. You have to understand about me. And he's basically and Kazoo is, a lot of the people there are just going to be more, atheist, socially liberal. And so the fact that he's able to stand by his principles, and I like that you like that about him because
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you know Niraj. He also finds a lot of disagreement with Dank, but the fact that they're able to have such a sturdy, he was telling me that, you know, for Thanksgiving, you know, or that they both celebrate. He was saying that like Dank sent me, you know, a really nice message, and you know, I really appreciate that. And I'm thinking, you're a fucking gay guy from, you know, San Francisco, saying, yeah, you know, I really appreciate this, you know, super religious bigot that, you know, doesn't even really want me to, you know, be gay and thinks I have some sort of affliction. You're saying you appreciate that guy? That's crazy to me, and I think that's I like that you find value in, you know, Dan, because I think there's a lot of value in that person, and you know, his willingness to disagree, but also have I'm not saying all his opinions are thought out, but he's clearly put a thought into huh?
I said no, they're not. He's a very stubborn character, and you know, because I'm like I would say that me and Dank are both anti-Semitic, but like the difference is that I read Jewish thinkers and I don't read them from like a seething perspective. Like I'll be fair about the Talmud. The Talmud does not say these things that Dank said it does. And when I really get into him with it, he's got no fucking defense for these claims. You know, that it's like pro pedophilia or something. That stuff just isn't true. And you sort of go for long enough, you know, he gets frustrated, but you can sort of see that, well, this is not well thought out. This is not a research opinion. Like you're not listening to contemporary rabbis debate what the text actually says. Because you can be easily misled about that. You know, it's, I forget exactly what it is, but it's about, you know, the 3-year-old and the hymen. But what they're debating is if this child was to be molested, you know, before the age of 3, would a man of God be able to marry her? Would she be impure? That's what the debate is. It's not saying you can or you should, you know. And he's kind of stubborn like that, and he'll sort of, you know, it's a lot of Twitter opinions. I don't want to be too rude, but you know, some of this stuff he's like, you got this from memes on Twitter, bro. Like, stop it.
That's disappointing because I basically agree with I don't know about the Twitter opinion things, but in terms of he is really stubborn about. To me, I don't know what your read on Dank is in terms of, you know, his religiosity. To me, it feels like it's sort of something that he's just grown up with, and then he sort of, you know, ad hoc justifies.
Yeah, he's just sort of revert in some ways. He grew up Christian and he was secular, and he sort of became more Christian, but he became more Christian because of this sort of right-wing internet culture. I think that's a fair statement. But anyway, getting back to my thing, I was always asking the question of, well, why I'm listening to Alex Jones, I'm in this like conspiracy slop world, like why are they always pushing Christ? It's always demoralization, but don't worry because Christ is king and we're going to be saved, etc. And I never believed that. So when I got into like Adam Green and stuff like that, that was sort of my introduction to this, what you might call like a higher order thinking, and sort of a rejection of like the online slop and stuff like that. And that's when I became very like not libertarian and stuff like that. And I don't know, like this sort of there's a few people I like, but it's about it really. You know, there's like 4 or 5 guys I listen to these days. I just hate everyone else. You know, I'm like I assume you follow like British politics, right?
Honestly, past year, or I guess past the election, no, I haven't. So you have to tell me.
So yeah, there's this Restore Britain, right? This Rupert Lowe stuff, and it's just all of. I
got asked about that in my chat, by the way. When I came back to streaming, actually no, it was yesterday. Some guy asked me about Restore. I'm thinking I don't know who that is. I only vaguely recall that Elon Musk was trying to support them. So I'm thinking. Yeah, probably
the people who promote that, they're such scum that I hope Starmer puts them all in jail. And we'd be like better off as people like Carl Benjamin. He just scum of the earth.
Sargon.
Yeah, just absolute fucking cretin.
What's he doing now? Because I remember him when the first Destiny debate I saw back in 2017 or something was him debating Carl Benjamin, and I knew who Sargon was before I knew who Destiny was. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll put my lot with this guy because I know who he is. Man, he got blown out, but I don't really remember what his I know he has the was that Lotus Eaters podcast, but I've not really looked into any of his stuff, so I don't even really know what he thinks on particular things nowadays.
Well, let me explain my sort of hatred of him, and I'm not in that whole scene, the Lotus Eaters. So he has a guy who's like his number 2. Yeah. And he's called Connor Tomlinson, and this is a great example of what I'm getting at. So, have you ever heard of a book called The Camp of the Saints?
No.
Okay, so The Camp of the Saints is a book that was written in 1974, I think, by a French far-rightist, Raspail. It's about it's a novel about mass immigration. 1 million people come from the Ganges in India, it destroys Europe, etc. And it's if you look this up, it'll say, oh, it's a white supremacist book, etc. And it sort of is. Right, it's not very crude descriptions of people who aren't white, etc. It was mean, we could say, right? And despite the fact they've translated it 8 times, they make it less and less radical every time. I've read the latest translation; it's still pretty radical. But Connor Tomlinson did this stream about how the Camp of the Saints is not racist, and he was sort of arguing, oh well, if it's true, it's not racist, and
no, it's really not make that much sense.
This sort of but what they want to do is it's more sinister than that. They want a big tent. They want people like me listening who are sort of racist and, might be sort of more inclined towards these arguments. Yeah. But they also want people who are like, I'm a good conservative and I believe in meritocracy and whatever the fuck those people believe in. And it's like, we're going to bring everybody together and they'll pay our stupid subscription fee and we're going to promote Rupert Lowe and Restore who pay us. And like Restore Britain, it's the online grifters united around a political party. And they're just the scum of the earth, man. I can't fucking stand them.
Okay. You know what? I've been meaning to look into that because of yesterday. So I'm glad.
Yeah, just imagine the stupidest people on the right, and it's just all of them.
That's disappointing.
Like the worst, the worst of the worst.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Because I know the guy that was asking me, Nara was just telling me about him. It was Why Not. Yeah, Nara was just telling me about him in terms of his sister lives in Spain, and they I think they both live in Catalan. His sister and this Why Not guy, they both speak Catalan, live in that region.
Are they separatists?
What's a separatist?
The people who think that Catalan should be independent of Spain.
No. This is about the dictatorship. What the fuck was the guy's name now? So leaving my mind.
Franco.
Franco, yeah, Franco. Apparently he's a big Franco supporter.
Well, look, Fleur, as a Destiny guy, you wouldn't know who Franco is because there's the iconic clip of Destiny with Nick where Destiny doesn't know who Franco is. And look, I like Destiny. I don't listen to him, and I have respect for him. And in fact, my respect for him went up massively after the Trump assassination attempts and after Charlie Kirk because he held his position and he didn't do that bullshit of pretending, it's all civil and stuff like that, right? He held down to his beliefs, so I always respect that. And look, I think there's a reason why a lot of people on the right would rather talk about him than talk to him. I think he is a smart guy, but the sort of critique of him is a sort of Wikipedia-brained guy. I think it is a fair critique. And
no, it's 100% a fair critique too. But that's not. I mean, there's a way bigger critique in that, by the way. But
Wait, say again.
I said there's a way bigger critique than that in terms of. You can take that critique a lot further. I would say in terms of. Okay. It's not only that he's a Wikipedia guy. He's the things that he's not actually only a Wikipedia guy, but
sure, but you get what I mean. It's sort of,
no. What you're saying is honestly giving him more charity than he probably deserves in terms of he is a generalist he's a generalist political commentator, and so it's just a lot of things that he doesn't know about, and so he's going to find himself in conversation about a lot of things that he doesn't know about, and he doesn't even have the Wikipedia knowledge of a particular something, and he has, you know, like solid steadfast belief, and he has, you know, general knowledge enough to, you know, go through a debate, and plus a lot of the people that he's debating are just really, really stupid, so he can sort of debate people on something, but that the Wikipedia thing, that's like his that's like more of his better stuff in terms of, oh, he actually knows, you know, some things that he's talking about, and so he can actually walk around the topic. But no, it's even worse than that. So, you know, in terms of, you know, political experience, that you can't stop at a lot of these generalists, and that's not even really a critique on, you know, just him. I would say he's probably better out of, you know, most generalist political commentators.
Oh,
but
yeah, sure.
There is just a problem with generalist political content where, okay, well, you're sort of talking about current events, and then, oh, you know, war in Iran, and then, you know, what can you say if you don't know about, you know, particular things, right? You know, it's like, oh, the Shah is making tweets or something, maybe he's going to come back. So you don't know about, you know, like anything to do with, you know, the politics about the region, and you're sort of just you just see stuff on Twitter and you're talking about it. That's sort of the problem with generalist political stuff, because you would need to be seeped in, you know, if you wanted like a really good understanding of a particular thing. You would need to be. It's sort of like Johnny J's, you know, talking about like, imagine if you're Iranian, it will probably be like Johnny J's talking like, who the fuck are these guys, you know, talking about our country? Like, who the fuck are these guys? They don't know anything, and yet they're having, you know, the most vigorous. Like, they're getting upset over debate, and that's I guess that's like a structural problem. I would say. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that in terms of there is just a structural problem in terms of online politics and the way it operates.
Well, that's just the internet itself. Like, the internet is this like decentralizing force. It creates fragmentation. Where, you know, I was watching I was at a mate's house not too long ago, and we were watching The Chase on TV. You know The Chase, right?
No. I don't.
The quiz show with Bradley, whatever his name is.
I did not watch TV as a kid. I was YouTube 5 years old, so yeah.
It's a quiz show where there's contestants, and they go up, and there's 4 of them, and they go up against one quiz master, and, you know, if they beat him, they win loads of money, right? Typical TV thing. Yeah. And I was watching this. I was thinking, man, I don't know the answer to any of this.
Yeah.
Like, any of these questions. And then there was a question that came up, and it was like, who was Charles Darwin's granddad, or something like that? And that was like the only question that I knew the answer to, that nobody on the show knew the answer to. And I was like, like, that's the internet. Like, I know about like British eugenics and the history of the Wedgwood family, but I don't know about any of these questions. In 1972, what film was Kristen Scott Thomas in, or whatever, you know? Like, so the internet, it just creates this fragmentation where people are know-it-alls about niches. Yeah. And I think that's the issue.
I don't think that's the internet. I think that's just generally more like specialized societies. We do, I mean, just in terms of like a trade, if you know, or your specialty in terms of like what you do for work, that's going to be a very specific niche that, you know. It's not going to be, oh, you know, I know a lot about everything. I think that's just sort of the way our society is trended.
But you can't deny there's been a massive decline in like pop culture, because it just doesn't have the audience anymore. Not even that it's bad, and maybe that's part of the reason, but people are just finding these sort of other places to go in. Like, I don't think anyone can deny that we're more fragmented than we were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I think that is largely the internet.
I can say, because I didn't live back then, so I don't know the particular landscape. I know people. I know people are particularly saying that we are atomized, and I kind of do buy that in terms of, I buy the sort of.
What I mean is, like, talk to your grandparents, and like they had a rigid, like, cultural understanding that to us it's like a fucking alien language. That's like, I think that's a good way where you could stress test it, is if you've got grandparents who you talk to. Like, you know, old people don't have these problems that we have. And you were talking earlier about the Spencer Destiny debate. And that's one of the things about, like, Spencer sort of longing for the Cold War and stuff like that, is because, you know, that's, you get this sort of, like, what was the Fukuyama book called? Like, the end of history and the last man.
Yeah.
And the last man, very important, because Fukuyama is showing he's a sort of covert Nietzschean with that statement. But yeah, you get this sort of
Should I read that book? Because I have been eyeing up just like a quick tangent in terms of you think it's worth reading The End of History.
No, I've seen lectures on it. I've never read it.
Okay.
But you know, it was a big it was a big sort of pop politics thing. You know, the notion that like two countries with a McDonald's have never gone to war with each other, right? Obviously, that's not true anymore because of Russia, Ukraine. But that's where that comes from. It comes from Fukuyama, and it's this sort of you know, unipolar capitalist thing. It's not. I think because in some way people say, oh well, you know, it's sort of been debunked now, and things about it sort of have. We don't live in that world anymore. But as I understand it, it is a pretty valuable piece of like, you know, late 20th, early 21st century politics.
I'm interested because the things that I know about it, I particularly know his description of the last man, which is this person that has no cause to fight for, so he unbuilds the society that he's particularly in. I don't know if that's a correct what you call it, a relaying of the idea of the last man.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's pretty decent. I mean, Nietzsche said that the last man knows that God is dead and he doesn't care. I mean, that's a good summary of it. The last man is sort of, he has access to all his information, whatever, but it means nothing to him. You know, he has greatness at the tips of his fingers, but he'll never reach for it. Like the last man is just sort of decadent, like, you know, laissez-faire, like post-Christian, post-Enlightenment guy sort of reached his conclusion. It's just this sort of timid nihilist. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good description. The
decadent stuff too, especially. That's particularly what because I know well, I don't know if you know, because Fukuyama has a YouTube channel. I don't know if I got it from his YouTube channel, but his he went on podcasts and it just got recommended to me. So I'm thinking, all right, let me just, you know, I'm playing some games right now. I need something to listen to. All right, let me listen to. And my understanding of The End of History was seems to be a caricature in terms of, to me, it sounded like a joke in terms of, he thought that history would end, or history ended post the wall coming down. Apparently it's way different from at least when he was on the podcast, the things that they were talking about, it seems that's not really what the book was about. Like, it was about the sort of, you know, post-wall coming down, and actually,
well, I mean,
1889.
I can lay it out to you if you want, or at least
go on.
Which, I mean, and I should probably mention that, you know, I'm sort of repeating Spencer's analysis here for you.
Okay.
Because I am sort of ignorant on this, and I'm sort of relaying things I've heard. But the notion of the end of history...
Also, by the way, really respect that, because I like to know where people are getting their things from. I don't like, especially on the internet now, and, you know, generalist political commentators, people will see things from... you know, political commentators and say, I saw this and it was from this, but it was actually, you know, some guy watching Fox News. It wasn't actually Fox News itself. And that's a completely different sort of, you get a completely different interpretation when somebody's commentating, you know, especially if it's, you know, clipped. And so, honestly, I respect the sort of intellectual rigor, I would say, in terms of that. You sound super, you know what I'm saying? That you sound very... the humility, intellectual humility, in terms of that you're citing the particular things that you get from. I super appreciate that.
Well,
look,
anyway, so much of online politics is just people repeating what they heard on podcasts, and it's such. I get it, and I do that, but sort of.
You're honest.
Like at some point, we become like sort of large language models debating each other with information that we've heard. Right? It's like whenever I've got like an original, like a proper like original take, specifically like a philosophical one, I'm like, this is fucking king, because you know, like people, this is a rarity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%,
that's why I do that. But so Spencer was basically saying about Fukuyama that the end of history is like, it's the end of the sort of conquering man, the sort of, to be a historical figure, to be a Hitler, a Stalin, you know, a what's his face from Cambodia with the Khmer Rouge. Yeah, to be a man like this, like modern society and the unipolar moment has made that redundant, and instead we're just gonna, you know, we don't need war anymore because we've got the shopping mall and life is nice. So therefore, because life is nice, history won't continue to happen in the sense that we understood it. And that's my understanding of the end of history.
Mm-hmm. Which is
because it's so much easier to just like, it's more beneficial for everyone to just have free trade rather than to have like a colonial project, right? And that's sort of what he's getting at.
Yeah, I'm honestly considering. I wonder if there's an audiobook on you. There probably is, just because of how old and relevant the book is.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned he had a YouTube channel, and I saw that. I've never seen his YouTube channel, but I saw that he was on Piers Morgan, and he was on a panel with Andrew Wilson, and I thought, what a disgrace!
Yeah,
what a
that is a disgrace.
You're making this serious intellectual sit here and debate Andrew fucking Wilson.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
not good.
You know, like he's. I don't know if you. Do you know who Ethan Ralph is?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so Ethan Ralph, shout out Ethan Ralph, by the way, follows me on Twitter. Big up Ethan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I basically, and this is, we were talking about original takes and not being large language models. You know, this is an original take here from yours truly. But in my opinion, I mean, Piers Morgan has become Ethan Ralph. I mean, if you listen to Piers Morgan's show, it's like listening to the Kill Stream. A lot of the same people are on it. I mean, Andrew Wilson debating Destiny. Like, why isn't Ethan Ralph moderating this debate? Why is Piers Morgan moderating this debate?
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
All he's missing now is like the drug use and the scandals with his wife. I mean, Piers has those actually. He's already got scandals with
I didn't even know about this.
So, I mean, all he needs now is just massive cocaine and Xanax use, and he's basically become Ethan Ralph.
That's really funny. I didn't even know this stuff about his wife, what even happened.
No, his wife is basically, she's got it. So, do you know that Piers interviewed Nick Fuentes?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically after that, you know, Piers was sort of a bit catty with him, said, oh, are you gay, whatever. And the gropers, they're all these schizophrenic fucking freaks, right?
Kiwi farmers,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Kiwi farms are actually pretty anti-Nick, but it's the same type of thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that made me like Nick more was the contempt he has for his own audience, because I share his contempt for his own audience. But so Piers is being catty with him. He's saying, "Oh, you're gay, whatever." So the gropers, they start digging through Piers' personal life, and they find all these Instagram posts from his wife, who didn't take his last name. She's called Celia Walden, and she's like posting bikini pics on Instagram, saying like, what is she was, I forget the exact caption, but she was essentially saying, I want a pool boy to come and fuck me.
Jesus, yeah.
And she's written articles in the Daily Mail, like Piers had something where he'd fallen down the stairs and he got a new hip, and she was writing an article in the Mail about caring for him. She said, I have to pretend that our marriage is real and look after him and all this shit.
Oh my
so yeah,
word. How do people not know about this? This seems so obvious.
Well, that's the thing about whenever the gropers go and dig something up, is it's like so out in the open. It's like, how are you the guys breaking this news to us? You know, and sort of British media hasn't. Well, I guess in the Sun, you know, that's like a normal thing. Like, so and so's wife hates him and cheats on him. Like, that's like every front page of the Sun ever. But yeah, so she has a lot of contempt for him and all that shit.
No, that's kind of, I mean, kind of sucks for him, but also fuck his show. In terms of, yeah, he does bring serious commentators on, and yeah, it is a complete fucking insult, a complete disgrace, and it's all just. It's not trying to extract. It's all theater. It's not trying to extract any sort of. Okay, well, how do we get these two thinkers to, you know. I don't like the set aside differences. That's sort of in the other direction, where, you know, two people that are obviously opposed, and then they get all civil. It's like, oh, you know, we didn't even have any disagreements. No, fuck yes, you did. Can we actually massage something out? I remember, you know, Cenk Uygur, or Cenk Uygur, whatever the fuck you call him, trying to, you know, do a post-Trump media grift tour, and it's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, just on that real quick. Have you noticed how? I guess I don't know how tapped in you are with the right-wing ecosystem, but him and Hassan have just been banned from entering Britain, and the consensus on Twitter is, oh well, Hassan shouldn't be allowed in because Hassan is this violent revolutionary. But Cenk, he's a cool guy, and you know, we have some differences, but Cenk's a nice guy, and they should let him in. It's like all this pro Cenk stuff. It's like you guys are fucking faggots. Oh, sorry, can I not say that? like it's not. There is there is not that big of a difference between Cenk and Hassan, and the only reason you're saying that about Cenk is because he goes to TPUSA and does these stupid fucking events.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised.
I didn't mean to say something that was TOS there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me. Don't ban me. Yeah, you apologize. We like Catboy Nick over here. Don't worry. But
I can't see your chat, by the way, so I don't know if there's like
no. It's the last messages are some guy saying best promotion on streamboo.com, and then you saying I'm gonna go for a piss. It's just been us talking to ourselves. Yeah. So yeah, we're good. Yeah. When you said Richard Spencer, you probably scared anyone from typing. But anyway, Karen, what were you saying?
Because I remember basically I told you we did that throwback stream at the start of 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
And me and Dank, we were talking about something, and we sort of ended up talking about like the sort of manosphere stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm not like a manosphere guy, but I'm not like a feminist, and I'm not an egalitarian, so I'm not like I'll say some like controversial shit about women, right? But I mean I don't dislike women. I quite like women, but you know, I'm not gonna do like the whole blank slate, we're the same type of shit. Anyway, so we're having some debate. In fact, I think I was actually defending Goddess from the accusations of pedophilia that Dan was throwing at her.
Oh wait, and really?
And I was taking the position basically that women, for a woman to be a pedophile, the criteria of things she has to be extremely high, because obviously the man can physically resist quite easily in most cases. Anyway, so we're having this sort of debate about men and women, and we're sort of getting into sort of manosphere era type stuff, and I see Next Gen in the chat. He starts ranting in the chat about how we're total brain rot and all this shit. So, I mean, whenever I talk about like any like controversial politics, I always expect people to just like hate on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of that person. That's just gonna I don't like that because I understand, right? I think for some people, especially if you're a woman and you hear manosphere stuff, I understand why you'd completely run away, and I think probably very justified. But in terms of you know, how many times have you sort of walked into, in terms of, you know, opinions that you have, you know, you don't really you can't just walk into opinions. You have to, or a lot of the opinions that you probably have now are probably stuff that you probably didn't agree with to begin with, and it was probably uncomfortable for you to deal with. I think there is this you know, a particular, I think you do have to deal with a particular level of discomfort at you know, particular values. Now that's not to say that you should accept everything, and even to say maybe, you know, I don't know if you remember the whole thing that used to happen, like BO3 guys would go into people's chats and saying, you know, a bunch of slurs and basically just completely destroying the chat, so you couldn't even type in it. It's just, you know, chicken, watermelon, Snickers, tryhard sevens, blah blah blah. I think there is a point where, you know, shit views and not wanting to do anything with them. I think I would want people to critically engage, because I think that's the best thing, but I understand why people don't have the capacity for that. So, you know, I do have some empathy, but still the best thing to do is to, you know, critically engage with things.
Yeah. But look, I was not just like parroting manosphere talking points. You know, I had my own take and stuff like that, and I was even expressing disagreement with that. And, you know, for him to just sort of hate on it, I was like, well, you know, this is like...
Well, was he bringing up any good things, or was he just sort of...
No, he just said it was brain rot and that we're retarded. And I was like, okay. You know, but it's like, you know, there's this aversion to this where it's like, you know, and a lot of it is like just stupid, and I do get it. But I just think like when you're so averse to that, it's like, you know, you're sort of It's
You
like
might
go
go
and
in
have
the
your
other
fucking
direction and get crazy.
yeah, go and have your fucking safe space, bro, and you know do all that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's why I appreciate you. I appreciate the Raj, engaging in. I mean, I mean, I don't know how big your disagreements with Dan are. I mean, the religion one is definitely going to be a big one for you. You
Oh
don't seem
no,
religious at all.
bro. We go on for hours and hours and hours, and yeah, no, it's a huge disagreement. Like,
Yeah.
and to such a degree that I was like, he kept promoting Christianity, and I was like, look, believe what you want, but don't engage me on this. And he kept engaging me on it, and I was like, fine, because I am fucking deep into this, bro, and I'm like, you know, you'd have a hard time finding someone who was more anti-Christian than me, like put it that way. And I'm not anti-Christian for like liberal reasons. Like I'm, you know, I'm just like I'm like inclined
of the
towards
religion.
like, yeah, I'm inclined towards like neo-paganism and stuff like this. Like I'm if you, Nietzsche was a sort of pagan thinker, like you know. So I'm not like one of these atheist guys. Like I'm way more averse to it than they are.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm sort of connecting a different point in time because Dank was saying to me that, oh, you know, I'm trying to convert Bagsy into Christianity or something along the
Did
lines
he
of that. Or
really
he
say
tried.
that?
Yeah, yeah. He said something like that, or he said he tried to convert you to Christianity. And I was thinking, so I know Bagsy. I talked to him for a while, and even though you know you're quite different now in terms of it does make sense that you have that continuity of not being adverse to a religion. Maybe you ground it differently now in terms of philosophically. But yeah, that seemed really. I think wow, that's gonna be an uphill battle because that doesn't seem like anything that you would do.
Like, with respect to Dank, like he got fucking smoked in that debate. And he basically admitted, like, I haven't researched this enough and I don't know what you're talking about and stuff like that. And I mean, fair play for having the humility to not just, like, stubbornly argue and say, yeah, look, you've got a better understanding of this than I have. But, you know, from at least the debate that happened, I wouldn't say I'm more familiar with the Bible than he is, but I'm definitely more familiar with a lot of aspects of the Bible and a lot of readings of the Bible that he does not understand. And, you know, I'm throwing all this stuff at him because, you know, Dank, he's like an anti-Semitic guy, right? He doesn't like
yes, of course, I know.
So when imagine Dank trying to convert me to Christianity and I'm telling him Christianity is a Jewish religion designed to conquer white people and the rest of the world. Like, imagine how that debate's going, because I'm constantly appealing to his anti-Semitism, right? I'm making him look in the mirror like, you don't like Jews and you worship a Jew. You tell me a Jew is the Messiah.
Yeah.
And he just didn't know. He just didn't know how to combat it.
Fuck, I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's late. It's been
right, well,
real
it's good catching up, bro.
fucking it's been fucking crazy catching up to you, especially we got into a good conversation as well. I like hearing your. What'd you say?
Go on, sorry.
I said I like hearing your thoughts on things. Just seeing that you're still keeping your brain buzzing. I like that. Yeah. So you know, we definitely should speak again.
100%. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Just play. It's funny because I always end up having a conversation with somebody while I'm playing zombies. They'll come into my chat and say, "Oh yeah, we got a call." So I'm having a really good long conversation with everyone, and I'm playing way longer than I should. So it's like 1 in the morning again. Yeah, go on.
You should thank whoever that was who I played on fucking Halo 2, and I saw that you can add something on your name where it says TTV and then the username.
Yeah.
And it was a close game. It was a 50-48 Slayer. We won. I got like 24 kills. You know, I was going massive. And so when the game ends, I'm like, I'm gonna go on Twitch and I'm gonna watch his VOD, right? But he wasn't live. He didn't stream it, so I'm just on Twitch. And I'm like looking through followed channels, and I saw you were live, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I've got to go and check this out.
Yeah, have to check. Yeah, 100%. All right, yeah, no, I'm gonna sleep. It's been good. So yeah.